Just take it slow. Got so far to go. When you feel that heat, and we gon' ride again. Share that beat of love. Wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sun and light. Wanna rock with you all night. We gon' rock the night away. And when the groove
Valdosta State winning the toss, deferred to the second half. They'll kick off to Albany State, and Rams return teams coming out. So we're going to have a new return team today. Normally we would see Watts. Yeah, he's out of action today. So we got Jamil Williams going back deep for Albany State, as well as pick up that number 26 in a moment. So we'll figure out who that is. Kicking off for Valdosta State, it's going to be Ethan Edens. So Edens will be kicking off from left to right on your radio. Valdosta State visiting team wearing the white jerseys, black pants, black helmets. They have the red numbers on. The Rams in all blue today. Blue jerseys, blue pants, and the silver headgear. So we get the whistle and we're ready for the kickoff here in Albany, Georgia. This is the fourth time that Valdosta State and Albany State have played in the playoffs. 94, 96, 04, and this one today. Here's the kick, high end over end, and Jamil Williams will take it at the Ram 5-yard line. On the return, the 15 tripped up at the 20, around the corner, out of bounds at the far side of the field, and they'll spot him out around the 30, maybe around the 29-yard line. So Williams with about a 24-yard return. It'll be first down Albany State.
I thought he did a pretty good job of hemming him up on the sideline. Did a good job at forcing him back to the 33.
29. Yeah, they spotted him down to 29. So Albany State coming in, averaging 35 points a game, almost 400 yards of total offense. Pretty balanced attack for the Rams. 199 yards rushing, 192 passing. And Valdosta State defense, they give up 28 points a game and about 378. So we'll see how this pairs up. So Isaiah knows the quarterback ready to go here. The Rams with 3 receivers, first down. He rolls to the near side and is intercepted. First play, off the hands of Jamil Williams, intercepted by Valdosta State, number 8.
Yeah, that's the guy I was just about to mention, Butler. I was going to give a rundown on the players to watch for, that's Connor. Rance Connor, the players to watch for Valdosta State. He comes into the day with 4 interceptions leading Valdosta State. And, boy, he gets one right there on the first play from scrimmage, off the hands of a receiver, right into his hands, and Valdosta State's going to start in real good field position at the Albany State 28-yard line.
Well, turnovers will kill you in a game like this. So Valdosta State, who they've been in playoff mode the last 4 weeks. They had a big overtime win last week at West Florida, defeating them 47-44. They get the first break of the day, an interception off the fingertips of the receiver into the hands of Valdosta State. First down at the Albany State 28-yard line, and they're ready to go here. Their quarterback, Jamison Holcomb. Holcomb in the gun is going to hand off running back near side, fighting inside the 25-yard line down to the Ram 24. And on the carry is this guy here, number 6, Corey Reddick Jr.
Yeah.
5'10", 175-pound junior from West Palm Beach, Florida, on the carry for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Reddick leads Valdosta State with 101 carries coming in today. 603 yards
Okay.
and 7 touchdowns. So he's going to be the main guy toting the rock back there in that Valdosta State running back.
2nd and 6. They man in motion. Give it to Reddick again, looking for running room, and the Rams going to stack him up this time. No gain on the play. Good defense by Albany State. He was trying to get around the corner, turned it back inside. It'll be a 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and 6 here.
And Valdosta State is huge on the interior line right there. We did a good job of filling up the holes right there. Valdosta State did good.
So Graham Craig, he's the head coach. He's also the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator last year as they made the national championship game, and they were the runner-up. So here we go. First 3rd down of the day. 3rd and 6 here for Valdosta State. Holcomb back to passing on 3rd down. He has time. Wait, throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his receiver who slipped on that turf there. I believe that's number 9, the intended receiver, Samuel Curry. And it'll bring up a 4th down. We'll see if the field goal unit might come out for a long field goal attempt.
Albany State had pretty good coverage in the secondary that time. The quarterback had to throw that behind the receiver because the safety was coming over and probably could have made a play on that ball. The receiver tried to stop and catch the ball, but he slid down on the turf. Pass fell incomplete.
32-yard.
It's going to be a 42-yard attempt. They had a 37-yard field goal to win that game in overtime last week. So here we go. Their left-footed kicker is ready to try it from the right hash here. Here's a snap, the place down. Kick is up high enough, long enough. And it is good. So Valdosta State with the early 3-0 lead over Albany State with 13:34 to go in the first quarter. We're going to keep it here right now. So Valdosta State with the big break on the interception. First play from scrimmage for the Rams, and they capitalized and put 3 points on the board.
And that's tough right there to come back and be ready to play after that series happened right there, Norm.
Yeah, that sudden change when you're thinking you're the defense, you're over on the sideline, and all of a sudden, on the very first play of the game for scrimmage, you're called on.
The Valdosta State Blazers started the month of November 3 and 4, but they turned up the heat at the right time, winning out in Gulf South Conference play. Coach Graham Craig told me that his team has been in playoff mode all month long because they knew every win counted. So he said they prepared for this game as they prepared for each game the past month. He said he just telling his guys to protect the state of ASU football and do their work.
They played 50 playoff games, 34 wins and 16 losses.
Okay.
And how many national championships in the last 10 years?
Yeah. Well, they have 4 in all, and they've been to the national championship game 7 times. So a lot of playoff experience and, a lot of winning down that way. So
yes, sir.
Valdosta State up 3-0. We were ready for the kickoff. Doing the kicking off again is going to be number 43, Ethan Eddins, and the Rams will have that double return team back inside the Albany State 10-yard line. So if you just joined us, 3-0 Valdosta State with the lead, the run-up and the kick high. And it'll come down again at about the 7-yard line on the return. Williams to 25, and he's going to be tripped up and taken down around the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. So Albany State will come out. Second possession here, and they're almost in the same spot. So
almost.
Yeah, so it'll be first down Rams at about the 31. They may spot it down at the 32-yard line.
We'll have to see how Rams quarterback Isaiah Knowles comes out and reacts after throwing that interception. Now, it was a tip pass. The pass was right there on the receiver. He didn't come down with it. Only had 5 interceptions coming into the day. So he's a pretty reliable quarterback with the ball. We'll just have to see how he responds on this first drive.
So Albany State, first down at the Ram 32, going from right to left on your radio and video screen here. Here's the handoff to Weich, Tiant Weich, the sophomore. And, boy, he got wrapped up right there at the line of scrimmage there, coming in to make the stop. See if I can pick that jersey up. Number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah, on defense, that's Jaden Dawkins, the linebacker. He's out of Stamford, Connecticut. Give him a yard on the play out to the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Albany State. So 3 receivers here for Knowles working from the gun. Isaiah Knowles, the redshirt junior, play action, going to throw it far side. It's caught. Omari Stewart makes the catch out of bounds near the first down marker. They'll spot him out right at about the 42-yard line.
And I think that's what the Browns got to do. Try to get stuff on the outside and loosen them up a little bit.
And it is a first down at the 42. Quick snap here for Albany State. And another catch. And it is caught at about the 47, so that's a quick. They didn't even have a chain set. Another quick 5 yards there for Albany State. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Rams in that tempo, slot to the near side. Knowles, a quick snap, play action, looking, and man wide open. That's the tight end, Jamarian Davis, midfield. fighting his way to about the 47 of Valdosta State, and that'll be good enough for another first down.
Jamarian Davis.
Jaden Dawkins for Valdosta State. Series of timing passes, little short passes, let him build up his confidence. They're moving the ball against this Valdosta State defense.
And first down snap, they give it to Whites, the running back, and he's going to run it down to about the 42-yard line, another 5 yards. So Albany State with a nice run there, and that tempo really has them moving here. They go trips to the far side of the field here, 2nd and 5. They give it to White, running back. And the sophomore from Jacksonville is going to get a first down to the 34-yard line of the Blazers.
Valdosta's playing a 3-man front right there, and we're doing a good job of executing.
Albany State coming in, averaging, like Fred mentioned at the top, 199 yards rushing. And they're moving the ball on the ground and in the air right now.
First down to 34-yard line, pass complete, and down to about the 30-yard line, the receiver. And see if that may be Javion Jackson. I believe that's jersey number 5 that made the catch there. And 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. So Coach Quinn Gray, offensive coordinator for the Rams, had the Rams in that quick tempo, back to pass Knowles. Boy, all day to throw the ball. He fires it, and it's caught by the tight end, and there's a flag, a late flag.
I think that the Rams.
And there's another flag in the secondary.
We'll have to see what that second one is. I think the first one is going to be a hold on the Rams. Number 62 looked like he had a player pinned down to the ground pretty good there. Leon Wesley, and something happened in the secondary. We'll have to wait and see. This might be offset.
So a penalty down there at the end of the play. Jamarian Davis able to make the catch. But we'll see if this is going to stand at all. 11:03 to go. We're in the first quarter. 3-0 Valdosta State on the 42-yard field goal. And a couple of flags on the field here. South Atlantic crew officiating today's game, a neutral crew out of the South Atlantic Conference. So they have a discussion down there. And we will find out what the penalty is going to be.
Long discussion.
Jared Wellmaker is the
Hitman.
the referee today. He's having a long discussion with his team to try to sort this out.
So here's the referee with the call.
Number 80, offense. Ineligible downfield is declined. Illegal touching is accepted on number 80. Be a 5-yard penalty. Be
So
third
they're going to
down.
say that the receiver number 8 was covered up and went downfield, which made him ineligible. And then he caught the pass, so he's also guilty of touching.
And I'm surprised the flag didn't come out.
Yeah, that Valdosta State got lucky on that one. Number 29 looks like, I think that was the guy, Roy Thomas. And it looked
Holding.
like Nose was in his
58.
slide and actually on the ground, and he
Offense.
still hit him. So surprised that wasn't a call. And then actually there's a call, a flag down against Albany State. Looks like it may have been holding.
Yeah, holding is the call against Albany State. So holding against the Rams is going to back Albany State up. So, but normally we've seen them protect those quarterbacks. When he goes in that slide, you're not supposed to hit him.
Yeah. So after moving the ball pretty good for about 6 plays in a row, Albany State, the last 2 plays have been backed up on penalties after they had the ball apparently down. They thought they were going to have possession inside the 15. They're all the way back out to 45.
It's 3rd down and 21. So 3rd and 21 after that penalty. Albany State, the line of scrimmage, the 45 of Valdosta State. Clock moving here. 10:25 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Valdosta State with the lead. Rams go empty backfield. Knowles yelling out the count. Back to pass on 3rd down. And a little time. He rolls to the right, wanting to throw it. And now he's just going to be slammed out of bounds. My goodness. And again, the fans over here on the Albany State side want the flag, but no flag comes out there. He was manhandled out of bounds. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of rough hits on the quarterback. Both ways on that, because Albany State definitely feels like there should have been penalties on roughing the quarterback on the last 2 plays. After a promise got started all the way inside the 30-yard line. Excuse me, the 35-yard line. The Rams backed up out to the 47 and forced the punt.
So true freshman Liam Dingle on the punt. Valdosta State set to return it inside the 10-yard line. 4:23 to go. Here's the punt by Dingle. And it'll go into the end zone. So it'll hit that hard turf, go into the end zone, and it'll be first down at the 20 for the Blazers. So 9:37 to go here in the first quarter. 3-0 Valdosta State, and the Blazers will take over down 20-yard line.
This is the first time they'll be on offense, right?
Second time.
Second time.
Yeah. So second time. First time was after the interception.
Yes.
So this time they started at 20. Valdosta State, again, talking about them getting in the playoffs. They were 2-4 to start the season, and they had to win the last 4 games and win the conference. They have a 6-4 mark because the top 8 teams in the region go. But this is the first year the NCAA has an automatic bid for the conference champion. So if you win your conference, there's 16 conferences. So you have 16 conference champions in the playoffs, and then you got 16 at-large bids. So 1st and 10 here for the Blazers. They go trips to the right side, one man to the far left. The quarterback stays in that gun here on first down. And I believe that's Reddick in the backfield with him at running back. He'll throw it near side. It's going to be caught at the 20. And a flag down as well, looks like.
I think that's going to be offensive pass interference. Looks like Valdosta set some type of screen before the ball was caught. We have to wait to see. We've been wrong on these penalties before.
Counselor Allen is the receiver that caught the ball.
Well, it's not a flag. It's actually a towel.
Okay.
Yeah, so no flag on the play. So it'll be down at about the 25, 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5 for Valdosta State. They swing trips to the far side, play action to throw it that way, and it's going to be caught. And I believe that's the same guy, number 1, Allen. So Allen with the catch, shy of first down. The Rams knock him down at the 29-yard line, but it'll be 3rd down and short. So 3rd down and about a yard to go here.
Valdosta State going no huddle, making substitutions. The Rams get a chance to substitute as well. Let's see here on this 3rd down play what Valdosta State decides to do. They want to put it in, keep it on the ground, go to the ground, or keep it in the air.
Jamison Holcomb, the quarterback, yelling out the count, 3rd down and a yard to go. They give it to Reddick. Reddick hit, stood up, and he won't get the gonna lose a yard. So good defense by the Albany State Dirty Blue defense. Knock him down at the 28-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 2 coming up. And will the Blazers punt?
Valdosta tried to load the right side and come off the edge, and they did a good job right there. The Rams did.
Well, Albany State coming in today is they were the number 1 defense against the rush in the SIAC, only allowing about 75 yards per game. So it's going to be tough to run on this Albany State defense. Valdosta State hasn't been able to get it done in about 4. I think that was their 3rd rushing attempt. They only have about 3 yards.
Devin Walter on the punt, averaging about 42 yards a punt. Jamil Williams set the return, standing around the Ram 30-yard line. So this is one going to kind of go dead, and it'll bounce inside the 35 down to about the 32-yard line. So Albany State will start where they've started the last couple of possessions, right at about the Ram 32 with 7:39 to go. First quarter here in Albany, Georgia. First round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. I want to thank you for tuning in from Albany, Georgia. So pretty warm day. Little clouds out there, but temperatures around 80 degrees outside. So for this to be late November, a warm day for college football.
Yeah, I can remember a couple of years ago, we were in the SIAC championship game, doing a game up in
Atlanta.
The one in Atlanta and the one in Montgomery Fairfield, and it was freezing cold this time of year. So the fans being treated to some delightful weather in South Georgia.
So first down, Albany State about the Ram 33-yard line. White, had a man in the backfield and able to run away from him, and fortunate to get a yard or 2 out to about the 35-yard line. So that was a guy that came clean. I don't think anybody touched him, Coach Massey, and he was able to get in the backfield, and somehow White got around him and able to pick up positive yards.
Valdosta did a good job of tracking him down on the backside.
Yeah, forced him to go deeper than he wanted to go, and also take a wider turn to try to make that corner. They were able to stretch it out. White did a good job just to get about 2 or 3 yards there.
It'll be 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. We'll call it at Albany State 36. Rams going from right to left, down 3-0 to Valdosta State with about 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Give it to him again. White on the run, fighting his way. And he's going to power out to about the 40, maybe just cross the 40-yard line. It'll be third down and a long two coming up here for Albany State. So the Rams, a couple of back-to-back runs. It'll be third down, and what they spotted, we'll just call it 3 to go for a Ram first down. And on third down on the season, Albany State averaging right at about 43%. So Knowles in the gun, yelling out the count. They were in the neutral zone. Boy, not a one flag on the field. Catch is made. And I'm standing right there over this. Wow.
Yeah, Valdosta State may have got away with being in the neutral zone there, but the quarterback did a good job of maintaining his poise, and the receiver hooked up right at the 40-yard line, back shoulder pass, and the Rams convert on third down.
First down at the 40-yard line. They give it to White. White on the run. And stood up. Gave him maybe a yard out, down to about the 39-yard line. So the clock moving here.
Yeah.
What do you have, Norman?
Yeah, that's the tackle by Moorhead. The fans wanted another unnerved. That was just a little push after the whistle.
Not worthy of a flag, right?
Not worthy of a flag, yeah. So that's not really nothing to complain about. You want to kind of still into them and, maybe say, hey, don't do that the next time. But you don't just want to throw flags for no reason.
It'll be 2nd and 9. The line of scrimmage, the 39 of Valdosta State. Trips to the near side, and they'll throw it this way, and Jamil Williams hit. Boy, he had 3 guys over there. 2 of them supposed to block, and nobody blocked number 2. Yeah, that is, who's that, Zach?
Zach.
Can't read the name.
I tell you, Javion Jackson was trying to put a block on the number 5 for the Rams there, but that guy just went right around Jackson and made a big hit on the receiver. The receiver lucky to hold on to that ball.
Yes. Zach Sedaros with the big play, able to fight through the would-be block, and it'll be a loss on the play back to about the 40. So it'll be third down and about a long 10 to go here for Albany State. 4:59 here on the clock in the first quarter. 3-0. Blazers leading it. Albany State, empty backfield. Knowles back to pass on third down. He'll throw it, and it's caught. And it'll be a first down. Still fighting his way down to about the 20-yard line is the receiver, Javion Jackson.
Valdosta State sent a blitz, and they were able to get late pressure on Knowles. He stood in there. He took a hit, and he got up a little slowly there.
Personal
and,
foul.
Let's see, we're going to see a personal
Roughing
foul.
the passer.
Roughing the passer. I thought
Number
we might
0.
couldn't see the flag
Defense.
because it's probably on that
Half the
goal of that
distance to the
Ram.
goal.
But yeah, he
Automatic
took a hit.
first down.
I see it there now. So
Yeah, it is roughing the passer. So add 15 yards to that. So Javion Jackson with the catch, and the late hit against the Blazers is going to walk the ball down to the 10-yard line after half the distance penalty. It'll be first and goal now. Albany State at the 10-yard line of Valdosta State. 4:39 to go here. Rams down by 3 points, but now they're in what like Coach Gray likes to call the green zone. We'll see what happens here. New back in the game here, Roderick McCreary in the backfield for Albany State. Rams with 3 receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the near side. And the tight end is going to go in motion and reset. So first and goal play, they are running McCreary, looking for running room. He reversing field and fighting his way. Got a guy helmet off, and he'll get all the way down to about the 4-yard line. So he went left, had to turn all the way back. He had a pack of players, blazers, and everything. He was able to fight his way back to the right side and get inside the 5-yard line.
A whole lot of heat.
A whole lot
of heat on that side. Since we're talking about Blazers, they brought the heat to that side he was trying to run to. He was able to bounce it back to the right side, pick up a few yards.
So it'll be second and goal, Rams. Right at about the 4-yard line. They'll swing 2 receivers over here to the left. McCreary stays in the backfield as a running back. And Knowles, again, working from that gun here on second down. Man in motion, Dorsey. They'll give it to McCreary. Boy, 2 guys came clean in the backfield. Number 29 was the first guy, and they had another guy behind him there to kind of back him up there. So Thomas the first one, and who was the second one?
I think that was Brown, number 5. Josh Brown, a defensive back out of Valdosta, Georgia, hometown boy. And
Rams missed the assignment.
yeah, that was just a mix-up on the offensive line for the Rams. Allowed 2 guys to come clean. The offensive line coach for Albany State's not going to like that at all.
2-yard loss back to the 6-yard line. It'll be third and goal from the 6 of Valdosta State. So the Rams taking a long time to get the play in. Play clock down to about 15 seconds. So McCreary in the backfield still. And Isaiah Knowles, the quarterback. His third year here at Albany State. Redshirt junior, transferred from the Naval Academy. So here we go, third and goal. They'll give it to McCreary, and McCreary is going to fight his way and power and see if they'll make it. Touchdown! in the end zone, 6 yards. Roger McCrary, and had a little help there with his offensive line to get into the end zone.
Yeah, that time the offensive line did a good job of coming and helping McCrary. They missed some assignments the first time, but that time they got all on the running back. Got behind him because you can push, you can't pull. They got behind him and pushed that pile.
2:58 to go here in the first quarter. 6-3, Albany State with the lead over Valdosta State. Point after try coming up by the Rams, Kyle Wright. Try and make this a 7-3 ball game. So we're ready for the point after. Here's the snap, place down, kick is up, high enough, long enough. And it is good. So your score, Albany State 7, Valdosta State 3 with 2:58 to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to and watching the NCAA Division II playoffs. We'll be right back. Morgan, she down there, but I don't know what Corey's doing because I don't hear nothing. Thanks a lot, Albany State University Golden Rams now on top 7-3 over Valdosta State. First round action here in the Division II playoffs and getting set to kick off. So Valdosta State now down. Coach Massey, what do you think they're thinking on the sideline, the head coach and the players over there?
Well, he's probably telling those guys to keep you cool and let's keep doing what we've been doing as far as trying to advance the ball down the field.
Yeah, they've been in tough fights the last, that one they had last week with West Florida.
Yeah.
And one thing we know about most Valdosta State teams, they're going to fight for 60 minutes.
They are. Yeah. They sure are.
Yeah, Valdosta State, like the coach said, has been in playoff mode since game number 5, I guess, really. Knowing that they had to win their conference to get into the playoffs, and they did just that.
Here's the kickoff, Kyle Wright. It'll come down at about the 2-yard line on the return. Blazers 15-20, and number 31 there on the return. See if I can pick up that 31.
That's Stanford Anderson, I think. Anderson. I think that's the number. We don't have that on our roster. I think I heard Stanford Anderson as the number 31.
So 26.
So it'll be first down at the 26-yard line. Blazers, Albany State on top now, 7-3. We have 2:51 to go. We're still in the first quarter here in Albany, Georgia. These two teams about 90 miles apart, so not a long road trip for the Blazers. Other action today, Benedict taking on Wingate up there in North Carolina. Kentucky State is on the road as well today in the playoffs. First time they ever made the playoffs.
Wow.
That was a big story. Motion here by the tight end. First down. Quarterback going to keep it. Holcomb around the corner at the 30, 35, and diving for first down. Here's a flag.
I think that's going to be a hold against Valdosta State. The wide receiver on that side couldn't quite get his number, but looks like he had, I think, the number 42. I'm not sure if he played, but he looked like he had our guy, the Albany State defender hooked. And I think the flag came in deep from the secondary.
So Jamison Holcomb, the quarterback, the junior, that play's going to be nullified. Looks like a penalty coming up here.
Blocking the back. Number 8, offense.
They'll mark
10
that
yards
one
from the
spot
spot
of
of
foul,
foul.
I believe. So Valdosta State's probably going to win.
So it's called a block in the back by number 8, the receiver Butler. And that'll be, like you say, 10 yards from the spot. So that'll move it back to about the 25. It'll make it a rare first down on 11. So first down on 11 coming up here for Valdosta State here. They have trips lined up to the far side, one man split wide right. And a new running back in the backfield for him on this series. Holcomb looking at that Ram defense here. Rams got 6 men up there near the line of scrimmage. And here's a snap. They will give it to the back around the right corner. And he's going to get running room. The 40, still running 45. And a first down for the Blazers.
And that number is?
Yeah. Is he on that new roster they gave us today?
Yeah. 19.
Yeah.
Rams number 23, Zealot.
Blazers did a good job of executing on that play.
So either way, it's a first down out to the 42-yard line for Valdosta State. And they will feed him again up the middle, boy, right up the gut. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown Valdosta State. 53-yard run to the house, and the Blazers have retaken the lead 9-7 over Albany State, just like that on 2 back-to-back runs.
And so after not very much success at all running the ball about the first 4 times against Albany State, only gained about 3 yards. Valdosta State comes back and are able to find some softness in that Albany State defensive line, get some guys up on the secondary, and boy, they cleared it out, and that guy went untouched for that 53-yard long touchdown.
Stafford Anderson, that's who that was on the run, 53 yards to the house. Here's the point after try here by Valdosta State. The kick is up high enough, long enough, and no good. So boink off the left upright, 9-7, 2-point lead by Valdosta State with 1:49 to go here in the first quarter. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment. Thank you. $1:49 to go here in the first quarter. 9-7 Valdosta State. 2-point lead here as they had the nice 53-yard run there by Anderson, and they teed up the kickoff again to Albany State. So Rams again with a double return team back and waiting for the kick return here. So 9-7 your new score here. And here is the run up by VSU, the kick high. And Williams waiting on it at the 4-yard line on the return. Makes a cut at the 15, 20, 25, and he'll dive out to about the 27-yard line. So it'll be first down Albany State at the 27 with 1:41 to go here in the first quarter.
It'll be interesting to see how Albany State comes out on this fourth. This will be their 4th drive of the game. Now,
Yes.
the first one ended in an interception on the first play of the game. And then they had a good drive going, got backed up by some penalties. Then the second drive, they took it straight down the field, overcame a couple of penalties, in fact, to score the touchdown. So this fourth possession in the first quarter, Coach Massey.
Yeah, man.
We've seen times when this Albany State team only had the ball 3 times and a half.
Yes.
So a lot of back and forth, a lot of offense going on right now.
So Isaiah Knowles ready to go here, coming in with 15 touchdown passes on the season. Actually 16. Somehow, one got credited to his running back. So back to pass, play action. Knowles going deep, looking downfield for his receiver, and that's Amari Stewart. And the Rams take a deep shot, and it'll be incomplete, a little overthrown there, but it's incomplete. It'll be second down.
Yeah, Knowles had it.
Yeah.
He should have thrown that ball a little more to the middle of the field and allowed his guy to try to run under it. He threw that ball back to the outside a little bit. His guy looking back over his shoulder had to try to adjust to the ball in flight. And it was slightly overthrown, but if he throws that, lays it up in the middle of the field, I think his guy can run under it, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Rams.
Track it down.
It'll be second down and 10.
It's big here because they don't want to go 3 and out.
So Valdosta State lines up there on defense. They got like 5 men up there crowding that line of scrimmage here. Second down, tight end in motion on second down. Knowles throw it far side. It's off the fingers of Amari Stewart at the 35-yard line. So just like that, it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Rams.
Yeah, that pass was a little bit behind Stewart, and he got his hands on it, tipped it a little bit. That's the same kind of play that resulted in the first interception for Knowles. So luckily for the Albany State team, that ball fell to the ground, and they'll get another shot right here on 3rd down. Valdosta State giving up about 222 yards passing per game, so they're a little soft back there.
So 3rd and 10 here for Isaiah Knowles and the Albany State offense. Play clock down to 5 seconds. They get it off here on third down. Knowles hit as he threw the ball, and it's caught. It'll be a first down to about the 45-yard line.
Boy,
Knowles
is down.
Yeah, he took a big shot. So Knowles is down after taking that shot, but it is going to be a first down for the Rams as they get the pass completed.
Yeah, it was like big number. Is that 99 for Valdosta State? They got the. Is that 98 or 90? It must be 98 because they don't have a 99. Levitt with the big hit there, and Knowles took a little time to get up. I think that's 92 actually.
Yeah,
So that's Mark Robinson.
It was a big hit, though. He took the hit. He got the ball, delivered it. And the one thing about it, there's a true freshman behind him because the Rams have lost 2 quarterbacks this season.
Yes.
So there's a true freshman, Xavier Irizarry is the backup quarterback. So first down at the 46-yard line, Albany State, they'll keep it on the ground and might have to keep it on the ground a couple more plays, after that shot Knowles took.
Yeah,
Right.
nice tackle by
I think you're
Valdosta.
right on that. You
number
definitely don't
6.
want to drop him back after that big shot. Big shot he just took. Yeah,
20 seconds left in the quarter here. Albany State could elect to let this thing go to the second quarter. It'll be second down, coming up about 8 to go here for a first down.
Good move.
That's a good decision after what Knowles just went through. Let him come back to the sideline, get his feet back under him. And, boy, what a good first quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Your score, Valdosta State 9, Albany State 7. We're going to head to the second quarter in just a moment. We're going to take a timeout. Yeah, we'll be right back in just a moment. You're listening to and watching the NCAA Division II playoffs from Albany, Georgia. To 7 as we go to the second quarter. It'll be second down and about 8 coming up for Albany State as they change sides. The Rams will be going from left to right on your radio and your TV screen. Again, thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. So again, second quarter action. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Wingate versus Benedict. So that game is up there in Wingate, North Carolina. We've been there a couple of times.
We sure have.
Yeah. So other action going on today. Kentucky State is at Newberry in South Carolina. In this region, also you have North Greenville is at West Florida, down there in Pensacola.
Rams got to hurry here. Play clock for it.
So second quarter and play clock already down to 5 seconds here. Knowles ready to go here. 3 receivers, quick snap. They give it to the back, and White wrapped up around the ankles there, number 7 in there to make the stop there for the Blazers. That's going to be Hudgens.
And that's a good job of Hudgens coming in and slicing and able to grab the running back by the ankle there because he had some space, and it looks like he was just about to get going. If Hudgens doesn't get him there, he's in the secondary.
So it'll be third down, about 5 to go. The line of scrimmage, we call it the 49-yard line of Valdosta State. The Rams run no huddle most of the game here. 3 receivers here. Knowles ready to go here on third down. Back to pass. Under pressure. Steps away from it and slung down. And that is a good job by that defensive lineman, able to come off the block and catch Knowles before he could, get in the area where he could pick up a first down.
Yeah, because I think Knowles thought he had something going over there. Number 92, the same guy that put a big hit on him a little while ago, able to shed his block and able to get the tackle. I think that's actually going to go down for a sack. Boy, it looks like a penalty may have been.
5-yard penalty.
They were lined
Still
up
third down.
offsides. Yeah, so they must have had a man in the neutral zone. That's going to make it 3rd and inches. But Albany State getting a break that time. I didn't see the flag. But either way, a flag against Valdosta State, and it'll be 3rd down in
inches.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 inches looking like from here for a first down. They need to make the 44-yard line to get a first down.
So we've seen this field a few times and missed a few flags, and I'll talk about that in more in just a minute.
And they are going to snap it and through there at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown Rams. 44 yards. Tiant White's the sophomore, and Albany State is retaking the lead, 13-9 over Valdosta State.
Boy.
So we had 2 long runs in this game, one by each team.
Yeah, that one by White, he got through there and had one man to outrun, and he did it. Kind of looking back over his shoulder, it looked like he ever got to full speed, but he was able to outrun the Valdosta State defender to the end zone, and boy, just like that, the Rams take the lead right back from Valdosta State.
Kyle Wright with the point after try. Here's a high snap, place down, kick is up, and it is good. So 14-9, Albany State with the lead over Valdosta State, and the Rams retake the lead. So I don't know if this is going to be one of those shootouts, but Albany State back on top here in Albany, Georgia.
3 lead changes in the last 3 possessions.
Seesaw.
So that's what we're looking at right now. Good, exciting football for this crowd here in Albany, Georgia. Not quite a capacity crowd like Fred mentioned. Valdosta State is only 90 miles south, and of course the Albany State hometown crowd still filling in. So we'll have to see how it turns out. Boy, if you're in South Georgia right now, within 30 minutes, Albany, I say come on over. You can make it here before halftime. You can watch some exciting football.
After winning Freshman of the Year for the SIAC last season, Tiant White turned his focus to putting on some weight. His favorite food is cheeseburgers, but he told me he didn't put on that much weight due to cheeseburgers. He wanted to put on some healthy weight so that he could still run a little bit faster than his opponents and get into the end zone like he did just now.
It's really hard to find that throw in the end zone. Ram hit. So you think we can get some kind of waiver where the NCAA allows Albany State home games to officials to use red flags or maybe green flags or something?
I've seen the pink flag, during breast cancer awareness. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yep. And then also during prostate awareness, we officials use blue flags, light blue flags.
No, don't bring the blue flag here. Kyle Wright with the run and the kickoff here. So waving for the fair catch and making it is going to be Anderson at about the 3, but this thing will come out to the 25-yard line. So 14-9, you do score here. 5-point lead by the Golden Rams, and Valdosta State's offense will take over.
And that kind of play goes unnoticed, but that's good awareness by Anderson. Because if he catches that and tries to run, chances are he's gonna make it to the 15. But he waits for the fair catch because it's the momentum taking him back and towards the sideline. He waits for the fair catch. So this team gets to about a 25-yard line. That saves them probably 10 yards in field position and also eliminates the risk of a penalty on the kickoff. So those are the kind of things that go unnoticed during the game that a well-disciplined team does. And I just had to shout out the young man for making the right decision right there.
So first down here at the 25-yard line. Blazers going from right to left. They're going to put the tight end in motion. He'll reset over there on the right side. And Holcomb, that was a quick 25-second clock. Looks, they call him delay a game.
Delay a game.
Yeah.
Offense.
Now,
5-yard penalty.
We saw when Albany State came out of a timeout how quick they got out there, and the clock was already at 7 seconds. So these officials, they are blowing it in quickly on that after that play, after a dead ball timeout.
So it'll be 1st and 15. Again, the tight end will reset there. Back to pass here. Holcomb flushed out to the right. Want to throw it downfield, and it's going to be caught over there by number 1, Council Allen. It's going to be close to the first down marker and out of bounds, and it depends on the spot. And I think he does have the first down at the 36-yard line. So
Nice pass.
You just have to give Holcomb credit for evading the rush that time and rolling out. And like you said, Coach Master delivering a nice pass.
16 yards on the pass play. Play action. Holcomb throwing it near side. And, boy, what a play. Coming up there from the secondary to make that play, Albany State. Yeah, and I believe that might be, I believe that's our guy. I'm thinking that's
Carr.
Yeah, Vundez.
Carr's day, right?
Yeah, he should be. Yeah. But sometimes they flip-flop. That might be Carr. Sometimes, yeah. We've seen them wear different numbers, so I believe that could be Carr over there. Either way, what a great play. Yeah, we get it sorted out in just a moment, but it'll be 2nd down and 10 here at the 36, Valdosta State. We're in the second quarter here, 13:30 to go, 14-9 your score here. 5-point lead for Albany State here in the first round of the Division II playoffs. Rams blitz, and Holcomb gets it away, throwing it near side, looking for his receiver. Incomplete. And that time Holcomb took a shot after he delivered the ball, but it's going to fall down incomplete, looking for Allen.
Good coverage by Robert Floyd over there for Albany State. Had pretty good coverage. Used the sideline as his friend. Looked back at the pass to avoid the pass interference, and was slightly overthrown.
We got something going on.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10, Valdosta State. And on the season, on 3rd down, they're right at about 39% converting. We'll see what they draw up here. Coach Craig, he is the head coach and offensive coordinator for the Blazers. They get the play in from the sideline. Play clock down to 4 seconds. So Holcomb back in the gun, ready to go here on 3rd down, and Albany State in the neutral zone. Free play and incomplete. So that time the Rams get caught, and that'll be 5 yards, and that'll make it a 3rd down and 5 coming up after that penalty gets assessed.
Valdosta State's going to get another shot at a shorter 3rd down conversion here. Albany State coming in,
Offsides.
only allowing
95.
23% of 3rd
Defense.
downs in the SIAC.
5-yard
That was good
penalty.
enough for the best
Third down.
3rd down defense in the SIAC. Of course, Valdosta State isn't an SIAC team. And they're going to have to hunker down right here, giving Valdosta another shot to convert this 3rd down.
So 3rd down and about 5 to go. They move it out to the 41-yard line after that penalty against the Rams. Got a slot to the far side. Got one man over here to the near side. Holcomb, the junior quarterback, ready to go here on 3rd down. Man in motion. Back to pass. Holcomb stands up, waits, and running around in the backfield. And Albany State breaking a tackle, fighting his way close to the 1st down. And depending on the spot, he might have it. So Albany State had a couple of chances to catch him back there, able to get away. Derek Drayton, one of those guys. And Holcomb able to run for the 1st down for the Blazers. A fresh set of downs right at the 46.
Holcomb did a good job of evading those tackles down by the Rams with that play right there. 1st and 10.
Yeah, he showed some good athleticism
Yeah.
escaping back there. And he's shown some good athleticism also, rolling out and completing a couple of passes. Albany State coaches was really disappointed that they didn't get this team off the field right there. Had a couple of different shots to do it.
So 1st and 10, Blazers. Line of scrimmage, that 46-yard line. Holcomb, play action pass, throwing it. And, man, how did he catch that ball? It was a high pass to number 9 there, Samuel Curry. And he took a shot as he caught the ball and still able to hold on to it for a Blazer 1st down. He'll take him down at about the Ram 39-yard line.
Curry coming in today with 10 catches for 160 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And, boy, I can see why he's had some success because, like you said, that was a tough contested catch. And he had some strong hands and a little elevation to go up and come down with that one.
So it'll be 1st down at the Albany State 39-yard line after that pass play. Clock running here the second quarter, 12:20 to go. 14-9 your score. Albany State with a 5-point lead, but Valdosta State now on the move. They'll give it to Anderson, looking for running room, fighting his way off the left side there. Going to be tripped up down by Tyrell Gainey, the Ram cornerback, and a couple other Rams. Ty Glenn in the area. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 coming up after that 3-yard run.
Mr. Anderson's a little short guy. He get behind those big linemen they got, and you can't find him.
But that time they had 6 linemen in.
Yeah.
And that helped them out. We're using one of those big linemen. I think it was number 60. It was lined up in a tight end position. And he provided some extra leverage on that side.
2nd and 7, hey, ready to go here. Back to pass. Holcomb, a lot of time throwing it. Man open, and it's caught. Touchdown. Valdosta State. 36-yard pass play to the end zone. Council Allen, and that's a little skinny post there, and he was able to run away from the Ram coverage, and Valdosta State is retaking the lead.
Well, we've seen this against Albany State a lot, where receivers are able to get behind that secondary on post routes, and the quarterback has been overthrowing them a lot. And that time, Holcomb did a good job of laying it out and made this Albany State defense pay. And just like that, boy, another lead change. 5 possessions, 5 lead changes.
15-14 your new score here. Point after try coming up by the Blazers, trying to make it a 2-point advantage.
I misspoke. 4 possessions, 4 lead changes.
Here's a snap, place down, kick is up high enough, and looks like he split those uprights. 16-14 your new score. So Valdosta State back on top with 11:39 to go here in the second quarter. It's the
Albany State University Golden Rams.
Council Allen has been on the team since 2021. Eric Watts, running back, told me that one of his favorite things about Council Allen is that he treats every day like game day. He says he comes to practice with his beats on, ready to go, almost as this is pregame warm-ups. He said he loves that about Council, and it really shows when he steps onto the field.
Of drives, and the Albany State had a big run to end their last drive after I think they handed the ball off twice after that big hit he took. So looks like he's got his feet back under him. He's going to come out there, and this Rams offense again, they're averaging 35.5 points a game, and Valley State are averaging 29.6 points per game. So it looks like we're well on our way to that type of score.
Notice the play clock too, guys.
Yeah.
These two teams keep going at the pace they are.
And the thing about it, the only thing matters is who comes out on top. You know, yeah, those averages are good, but right now it's just who's going to be left.
Right, and those averages are against teams that neither one of these teams have played. So, I mean, yeah.
And Rams had to burn a timeout. So, again, that clock ran out. Albany State, by the time they got to the line of scrimmage, it was about 3 seconds left on the play clock here. 11:39 to go here in the second quarter, as Albany State is hosting Valdosta State. And this is the second time the Rams have hosted the Blazers for the playoffs. The last time was in 2004. So that was the quarterfinal matchup, and that was the first year that Valdosta State won the national championship. Never forget that game. Rams had a 24-0 lead at halftime. It was a tale of two halves, and the Blazers scored 38 points in the second half. Wow. And they were able to go on to win a national championship. They had played early in the season. The Rams beat them here. The only team they lost to, and the only team we lost to that year, Albany State. And that was a great season, actually, for both teams. That was their first one. The first two playoff games were down in Valdosta in 94 and 96. So Albany State take a time out here after play clock was running out. 11:39 showing on the clock here in the second quarter. And again, whoever wins this game will move on to the next round. So if Albany State wins, it'll be a home game next week against the winner of Wingate Benedict. If Valdosta State is able to win, they're going to most likely be on the road again, coming in as the 8th seed. They'll have to go to wherever, either maybe Wingate or Benedict.
And they've seen neither one of those teams, I don't think. They're the only team that in their conference that they saw, of course, was Florida. I think they played Newberry also, if I'm not mistaken.
North Greenville.
North Greenville, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of those teams is going to be gone.
So first down at the 25-yard line, Albany State, White on the run and finding daylight in the secondary, and is going to be close to a first down and stood up at about the 34. So 9 yards on the run there by the sophomore, the leading rusher for Albany State. So the Rams trailing by 2 points here in the playoffs against Valdosta State, 16-14. Quickly line up here on second down and short. Play action. Knowles throwing it deep. Williams having to wait for it and making the catch at the 45-yard line and knocked out of bounds. So pass play. And do I see players walking backwards? Is there another flag down? So they came on a blitz, and there's a flag. I do see the flag now, a blitz, and I thought they were going to get another hit on Isaiah Knowles. Didn't get the hit, but the flag came down, so this one is coming back.
Yeah.
And another receiver downfield against Albany State. So, again, that's more than likely. I don't think it was an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
I think it was another covered-up receiver.
Leon Wesley. They called it on the Ram lineman. So Wesley caught. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So ineligible man downfield. And that's normally an umpire call, isn't it? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Sometimes.
It's normally the wings or the head linesman or the line judge is supposed to call it, but a lot of times the umpire get it because he's standing there about 4 or 5 yards
if they
downfield.
pass you.
Yeah, if they go past me and the ball does too, something's not right.
So after the penalty, second down, back to pass here. Isaiah Knowles all day in the backfield, flushed out to the right. He can run it if he wants to. Now he tucks it in, and he's going to get the first down, looks like right at the 35-yard line. So that'll be 1st and 10 Albany State. So Isaiah Knowles able to get the first down by way of his feet.
Knowles, that's the second time he's actually slid and got hit while he was on the ground. So Rams fans, again, want some better protection for their quarterback.
4 receivers to the far side, and they get the pass out there. And number 2 were able to come in there and make the stop there for the Blazers out there on defense, Robinson. So the Rams had a quad line up there, and they threw it there where Coach Massey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was McQuarrie out there, the running back, out there in that quad split. He caught the ball, able to get upfield for a few yards.
Second down at about 3. Pass complete. First down Rams. And fighting his way out to about the 47-yard line. The Albany State receiver is Omari Stewart. Stewart coming in as the leading receiver for the Rams. And another first down here for Albany State as we're under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. 9:44, clock moving, quick snap, and they will get Roderick McCrary on the run, and he'll get to the Blazer 48-yard line. So Albany State, again, in that tempo mode.
Boy, and the fans want the band to stop playing while Albany State has the ball, and I can understand why. And because they're trying to go quick, and they need to be able to communicate really well here.
Quick pass on second down as Stewart on the run and stood up at about the 40-yard line. Took a big hit there, but a good tough run there by the wide receiver after the catch, and it'll be 1st and 10.
The way both teams are moving the ball now, guys, you mentioned whoever has it last. I'm going to say also whoever commits the fewest turnovers, because that possession might come by a turnover. That 1 or 2 extra possessions might be the difference in this game.
Stewart shaking up on the play. He's out of the game as Jackson, the receiver, now will check in here for Albany State. First down at the 40-yard line. This time they slow the pace down. Double receivers to the far side. Got one man over here on the near side, and Knowles working from that gun on 1st and 10. Play action again. Wants to pass. Sets up. Throwing it deep. Looking to the end zone. Jamil Williams. Touchdown! 40-yard pass play. Jamil Williams able to fight off the defender and reel it in for an Albany State TD.
Boy, I tell you that you're going to give credit to Jamil Williams for the touchdown. I'm going to give credit to McQuarrie for the touchdown. He picked up the blitz, and that backer came in, and he stood up and took him on. And McQuarrie's helmet actually got knocked off on that play, but since he was engaged with the linebacker, the official did throw the flag, but he's supposed to give himself up at that point. And the quarterback threw a dime. But, boy, that play was made by McQuarrie picking up that blitz.
Another lead change. 20-16, Albany State now over Valdosta State. High snap on the PAT. Kick is up. It is good. 21-16. Albany State with the 5-point lead now over the Blazers with 8:27 to go. And, boy, this turned out into some kind of ball game here. First round action, and I don't know if there's a better game going on, but right now in Albany, Georgia, boy, we got one. A barn burner. What you call it, Coach Massey?
A dog fight.
21-16 here in the Good Life City.
Yeah, so Valdosta State scored first on that field goal. Then we had a couple of punts. And since then, every possession has ended in a touchdown. Albany State's had 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Valdosta State's had 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. And, boy, it's just going back and forth. It's like a couple of heavyweights standing in the middle of the ring just throwing haymakers.
Yes.
8:27 to go here the second quarter. And the Rams have retaken the lead. Home fans enjoying themselves here.
Got a pretty good crowd, too. Both sides have a good showing.
Yeah, so nice atmosphere here in on November the 22nd.
Wow.
So fans coming out supporting these teams here in the playoffs. So again, 15th trip for Albany State to the Division II playoffs as Valdosta State making their 21st trip. Rams with the lead. Kyle Wright will tee it up. And again, a double return team back for Valdosta State, kicking off from left to right. So here is the run up by Kyle Wright. The kick high. This time coming down at about the 5 on the return there. Anderson, boy, right through there and cut down. That's Higgs out there on special teams, the Rams secondary guy. And that was a lot of a big bull coming in. That guy's kind of thick there. He shot through there like a cannon.
Yes,
and Higgs gave up his body, able to cut him down at about the 38-yard line. That was a great return, about 33 yards on the return.
No cutting anything.
And I tell you what, Higgs may have got him, but Kyle Wright is the happiest player on the team right there because Kyle Wright is only 5'9", 150, and he was the last man back there. I don't think he wanted any parts of that return man coming through there with a full head of steam.
So good field position here for Valdosta State. 21-16, Albany State now back on top of the Blazers here. Motion by the tight end. They give it to the running back, Reddick, around the corner, and looking for room and still running at the 45. And nailed it about the 41, but a good run as they're able to get around that left edge off left tackle, and Albany State containment not there. Nice run there by Reddick. It'll be a first down. They'll spot it down at the Ram 41.
But Albany State defender Wanton came up, and he had a shot at him and just missed him in the backfield, and that allowed him to make a big play.
They give it to him again, this time hitting the backfield. Isaiah Morrison, the first guy to make contact, and he's going to be a loss. A couple 4-yard line, 3-yard loss. So that time Albany State ready for it on defense.
Yeah.
So clock moving here, 7:35 to go. We're in the second quarter. 21-16 your score here. The Albany State University Golden Rams leading the Blazers of Valdosta State. Last year the Blazers, the national runner-up. Second down, about 13 to go at the Ram 44-yard line. Holcomb working from the gun. Back to pass him. Second down and long. Steps up, want to run. Pumps it. And he's going to run inside the 40 and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
Good job by Holcomb. Nothing there. He didn't try to force it in. Took what was in front of him, got 5 yards, make it third down and I think 8. And after the loss on first down, he's able to, get Valdosta State some positive yards instead of putting him in third down and extremely long.
So it'll be third down. We call it about 8 to go. Ball resting at the Albany State 39-yard line. Holcomb yelling out the count. 4 receivers. Play clock. Still about 10 seconds to go. He'll look over to the sideline for the last minute. And they may be changing the play here on third and long. And they're not going to get this off. Delay a game. I thought the coach was going to get a timeout. I thought for sure the way that clock was running that coach may take the timeout, but looks like that delay a game is going to be called. Or did they give him the timeout?
I think they gave it to him.
Okay, yeah. The way that down.
Prior to the delay of game, we have timeout.
And it is a timeout for Valdosta State. While we have a timeout, we're going to pause for a moment for station identification. All right, again, we want to thank you for tuning in for today's big matchup in the NCAA Division II playoffs. Albany State University Golden Rams, the 1 seed in Region Number 2, hosting the Valdosta State University Blazers. 21-16 your score. We got 6:29 to go to halftime, and it'll be third down and 8. So Valdosta State able to get a timeout before the play clock expired, and third down and 8. We'll see what they talk about doing here. They convert about 39% of the time. We anticipate maybe a pass here by Holcomb, the junior quarterback. So now in the game at running back, they got Watts, Eric Watts back there. Here's Holcomb, the pass, man, wide open. Allen at the 20, 15, and taken down inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a first down at about the Ram 13. So Counsel Allen able to come cross, a little crossing pattern. He was wide open there. Holcomb able to hit him in stride, and first and 10 at the Ram 13.
He's doing a good job of seaming through there and getting good yardage on him.
So first down here, Valdosta State. 3 receivers here at the Albany State 13-yard line. They'll put Allen in motion here on first down. They give it to Reddick. Reddick met by 3 Rams in the backfield. He fumbled, and it's picked up by Albany State.
They're going to call it a fumble?
Wow. Blowing it dead. That's close there. I'd like to see a replay on that one. He was hit, and I don't know if that ball come out before he hit the turf.
Well, I don't think Coach Gray thinking it did because he's not even attempting to reach for that red flag, and he's been unsuccessful in challenges so far this year. But I think it must have been either blown dead or the back was down because it looks like no challenge is coming.
So it'll be second down after that loss, about 12 now at the 15-yard line of Albany State. Watts is going to reset in the backfield. Receivers left and right here for Holcomb. And he'll give it to Watts. No play action. Thrown to the end zone and is caught. Touchdown. 15-yard pass play. And that was a good job fighting off the coverage there by Albany State. Number 80, Wilson, the wide receiver, able to make the catch. And the Blazers have retaken the lead 22-21.
Another great contested catch by this Blazers receiving core. Boy, it looked like Albany State had good coverage over there. And the guy just able to go up and almost looked like he one-handed that thing and brought it into his body and held it to the ground.
62-yard drive by Valdosta State to answer the Rams. So
back and forth, baby.
Yeah, so another point after try coming up here by Valdosta State to try and give them a 2-point edge. Here's a snap, the place down, kick is up, and it is good. So 23-21, you do score. The Blazers back on top of Albany State. 5:01 to go here to halftime, and back and forth.
Yes, sir.
Like the old Cameo song.
back and forth. Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in today. My sister told me she was going to be watching and listening. She tried to make it down here. But she had to go to the ER, so she's at home with some crutches and a swollen knee or something like that. So, again, a lot of people, again, tuning into today's broadcast with this being a playoff game, and, of course, it's win or go home. So, again, thank you for tuning in if you're listening to the radio or watching the stream on ESPN+.
Yeah, that Albany State defense is probably just shaking their head right now because since the FAMU game, no one has scored over 18 points against this Albany State defense, and Valdosta State has 23 points here with time left in the first half. Again, Florida A&M, a Division I AA team, scored 33 points, and Kentucky State scored 21 points. Those were the biggest point totals put up on this round defense this year. Valdosta State already with 21. They scored on the last 3 drives.
So 5:01 to go here to halftime. It's now 23-21. Blazers on top of Rams. We get the whistle and the run up here by Valdosta State. The kick high, end over end. Again, Jamil Williams waiting on it, and he'll let it go over his head into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. First down, Albany State at the Ram 25-yard line. Again, Conference Players of the Year, Offensive Freshman of the Year is the Valdosta State Blazer, Sean Pascal, and their coach, Graham Craig. He is the co-coach of the year for the Gulf South. The Gulf South down to 4 teams. Valdosta State, West Alabama, Delta State, and West Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of teams have moved on. West Georgia used to be in the conference. They went Division I. North Alabama left years ago. Mississippi College is no longer there. Shorter left. They right now, I think they have a provision for this year, maybe next year, to still be considered a conference. So if they stay like that, they might not get an automatic bid depending on what happens. So first down run from the 25, a flag thrown by the referee. Is he had nowhere to go. The running back, White, he ran one way left and might have fought for a yard, but this probably going to be a holding call, flag thrown by the referee in the backfield.
Valdosta did a good job of sealing everything up on that play.
Offense.
And that is called.
Penalty,
Towers Brown, the center for Albany State, called for the holding. So that'll back the Rams up 10 yards. They'll move it to the 15-yard line. It'll be first down and 20 coming up here with 4:54 here to go to halftime. So the thing about it, if you're Albany State, you want to get a good possession and you want to try and use up as much time. You don't want the Blazers to get the ball back. The way these teams are going back and forth, you want to hopefully end, the game possession with, not leaving much time on it. We'll see how this turns out here. First and 20, and Knowles is taken down in the backfield. So the Rams had that little RPO going, and Isaiah Knowles is taken down for a loss back at the 13. So another 2 yards. That'll make it second down and 22. A good play there by Valdosta State defender, able to get to our quarterback.
And you know why you want to do that? What you made a comment on, Fred. They get the ball the second half. Valdosta does.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you don't want to give them a 2-for-1 if you're Albany State. So yeah, if they can get a possession here and then have the third, ball as well. So we'll see how it plays out. 2nd and 22. About 4 minutes to go here at halftime. Knowles the pass on second down and is complete at the 20, and kind of retreated there. His helmet came off. Jamil Williams making the catch and out of the game for a play here down at the 21, maybe the 22-yard line.
Albany State needs the 35 for the first down, so it's going to be third and about 13, 14 yards to go. Big third down here, because like you guys have mentioned, if Valdosta State gets this ball back, they're going to be looking to score, and they get the ball first in the second half. So this is a pivotal drive and pivotal play right here for Albany State.
Yeah, you see how they play it defensively. The defensive coordinator for Valdosta State, Greg Harris, back to pass here. Knowles, well, he could run this thing if he wants to on his feet, trying to cut and turn, going to take a hit. He's not going to get the first down.
Yeah, Knowles stumbled around a little bit on that. He didn't really just go for the open area. Kind of stumbled and fell down. And now Albany State is 4th and about 2-3 yards, and they're going to line up like they're going for it.
So 4th down, the Albany State offense is out there, and now the punting team's going to come out. I think, is this the first punt of the day?
I think this is Albany State's second punt.
Second punt. Yeah.
So Dingle on the punt here for Albany State, the freshman. 4th down and about almost 4 to go for a first down. So Dingle, true freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, here's the punt.
Shanked it a little bit.
And it'll take a round bounce inside the 35 and now roll inside the 30, and pretty decent now down to about the 27. So out of action today, Ian Kelly. Kelly, I understand, hurt himself after the celebration last week in the SIC championship, so he's not able to kick or punt today. So I think I saw him with crutches.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so he's out of action, but it's a good thing to have other kickers if you're Albany State. But 2:29 to go here. Valdosta State, a chance here. They lead it by 2 points, 23-21, as we are getting close to halftime.
And the Blazers are going to come out trying to get down the field here, trying to score.
Oh, absolutely. Want to give a quick update on some other scores in the Super Region 2 that Albany State and Valdosta State are competing in. Newberry is leading Kentucky State right now 24-10. That game is, we're guessing, it's about 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
So first down to 28, Valdosta State. They'll give it to Reddick. Reddick looking for room and trying to get around the corner, and he's going to get up to about the 30-yard line. So a couple of yards on the place, 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Also, the latest score we have in the Benedict-Wingate game, Wingate is winning 7-0 against Benedict. That game's still in the first quarter. Don't know if that's holding up, but those are the two scores we have right now to update you on.
We're approaching 2 minutes to go here. 2-minute timeout coming up shortly. So Valdosta State, knowing that timeout, they may or may not snap this thing here on second down. They have plenty of time on the play clock.
Yeah, they're finna go.
And Holcomb will step back in the gun. We'll see if he get the snap off. And no, he won't. So 2 minutes to go here. The 2-minute timeout, 23-21, Valdosta State with the 2-point lead. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back in just a moment. Albany State University and Valdosta State battling in the Division II playoffs.
To 2-0-0.
I saw on the screen like she was finna do it, and I tried to say something, but I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be a wash. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe, oh my God, maybe we won't. No going down the scale. Yeah, come on, give us something good. Oh, I mean, that was not good. All right, we'll just swing it back in a second. Whew. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in to the NCAA Division II playoffs. on your radio, also on ESPN Plus here from the good life city of Albany, Georgia. Valdosta State and Albany State battling. Right now the Blazers leading it 23-21 over the Golden Rams. What do you think the strategy is? It'll be 2nd down and 8 at about the 30-yard line here for Valdosta State, leading by 2, Coach Massey.
Well, we're going to have to Valdosta is going to try to get this ball in number 1's hand, that young man that caught the 2 touchdown passes.
And they still have 2 timeouts.
They have 2 timeouts left.
Time to run that 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
So if you're Albany State, the defensive coordinator, Christopher Cash, Norman, what's the discussion with the Ram defense?
Well, the first thing you're wondering why you're not getting pressure on this quarterback. Albany State comes into the day with 33 sacks. That was good enough to be in the top in the SIC, but this isn't an SIC team they're playing today, and they done a good job of protecting the quarterback and giving her time to complete some deep passes downfield. So that's the first thing. You got to figure out how you can get your front four to get pressure, because you need all you guys on the back end for coverage. So the Rams have Drayton and a couple other guys. I don't think Clinkscales, who was one of their big defensive linemen, I don't think he's playing today. But they have to figure out how to get some production from guys like Drayton and Morrison and big number 99 Glenn up there. So see what they can come up with against this very solid Valdosta State offensive line.
We'll see what they draw up here. Graham Craig, of course, head coach, offensive coordinator, a lot of time to talk. During that 2-minute timeout, 2nd and 8, back to pass Holcomb. Holcomb waits, throwing it deep, looking downfield, over the middle. And that's his tight end. Incomplete there. Tried to hit his tight end there, wearing jersey number 42.
They tried to stretch the field about us on that play.
Yeah, that's Joel Wandu. I think that's how you say his name, Wandu, the tight end.
Wandu like Guardians of the Galaxy. You haven't seen that movie?
Okay. I started watching it.
Yeah. Wandu coming in with 14 catches, 212 yards. And 2 touchdowns, and boy, he was, again, another receiver finding some space in this Albany State secondary.
It'll be 3rd and 8 after that incomplete pass here. 1:53 on the clock. Back to pass again. Holcomb waiting. Throw it. Hit as he threw. And it's incomplete. Intended receiver around the 40-yard line. That same guy, Allen, and it's broken up by the freshman Wonton for Albany State.
And that's exactly what the Rams needed. They needed to stop this Valdosta State team and get the ball back, because we were talking about that 2-for-1.
Yes.
And Valdosta State had an opportunity to get it done right there. So the Albany State defense kind of helps them out, able to get a little pressure on the quarterback and also contest the pass. So Valdosta State having it lined up in punt formation.
Is Jamal back there for the Rams? Number 3.
Jamil Williams.
Jamil.
Here's the punt by Valdosta State. A missile, and Williams make the catch at the 21, and boy, good play on special teams. That defender there, helmet came off, and he was right there at the tackle. So no return there. Number 20, I believe, was the guy down special teams, Roberson.
Yeah, so Roberson, I think he must have lined up as a gunner, because he got down there. He just beat the Albany State safe man and able to make the tackle. We did a good job. Albany State did a good job of not holding there, or it could have been even in worse field position.
1:40 to go to halftime. 23-21 your score. Valdosta State leading Albany State here in the Division II playoffs. The winner will move on, and the losing team will clean out the locker room. It'll be the end of the season.
Yeah.
So both teams come in as conference champions. So, Albany State winning the SIAC, Valdosta State winning the Gulf South. But is one championship left everybody wants, and that's the national championship. So 3-man front here for the Blazers. First down, Albany State. Back at the 21. Knowles is going to take off and run to 25. And he'll run out of bounds close to the 30 and spot him out right about the 29-yard line. So 8 yards on the run. It'll be 2nd down and 2 coming up. So that time he pretty decisive to run that thing out of bounds. Clock will stop with 1:32 to go here. 2nd and 2, Albany State. Dorsey in the game as a receiver, also Jackson and Petty to the far side, and there's an empty backfield set here. So 5 receivers on the field here. Knowles is going to put Williams in motion here on 2nd and short. They'll give it to Williams on a little handoff. Williams in the secondary on the run, 45, and stood up at about 49, and no whistles yet. And they'll blow it dead at about the play. Well, they're letting these guys play. And the offensive line comes in, and pile moving 3-4 more yards. It'll be first down at the Blazer 49-yard line.
Saw that on the Rams touchdown earlier in the game. Behind the back and pushing for another 2 or 3 yards.
Jamil Williams, that's a rare carry for the Ram receiver. First down at the 49-yard line. Quick snap, back to pass. Knowles steps up. and he's going to be hit from behind. So Isaiah Knowles held on to the ball, I think, a little bit too long. He got what he could, but number 45 able to fight off a block and come in and make the stop. And that's going to be Nick Mercer with the tackle.
Yeah, Nose had eyes in the back of his head. He would have started running a little fast, a little sooner on that play.
Second down, about 9 to go. Fire the middle, Amari Stewart. First down, making the catch and take a big hit and hang on to the ball at the Blazer 38-yard line. 40 seconds to go. Rams still have 2 timeouts. Trips left, 2 to the right. Knowles going to take off, quarterback draw, and he'll slide down, and I'm expecting the timeout to come here with 32 seconds showing.
Rams don't take a timeout.
And
now they get one.
Coach Gray's been calling for a timeout. He was calling for a timeout a while back.
Yeah.
And finally they get it with 26 seconds left. They might have to put some time on the clock.
The head linesman is going over to talk to the referee. They're going to make an adjustment here.
Timeout. Albany State. Second charge timeout at half. Please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. 3-1.
31 seconds on the clock. So it'll be 31 seconds to go. Albany State will have 1 timeout to go. So 31 seconds of timeout, down by 2 points.
Yeah, what Albany State wants to do right here is maintain possession, get at least enough yards for a field goal attempt so they can potentially take the lead in the halftime. But they really want to score 7. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out of this timeout and take a shot at the end zone. They're about that at the distance where you can kind of try to split the secondary, run a skinny post. You don't want to wait till you get too tight in to try to do those type of plays. You only have about maybe 4, maybe 5 more plays in this half if you're lucky. So they have to decide right now, and I think right now is a pretty good shot, time to take a shot at the end zone. Of course, Valdosta State knows that too, so they're going to probably play deep in the secondary, which allows you to throw something underneath and get in field goal range. So we have to. This is a chess game right here. Both teams trying to figure out what the other's doing and then take advantage of that.
Not checkers, it's chess.
Yeah, it's chess. This is chess.
So both teams talking about it on each sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 2 coming up here. The line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line of Valdosta State. Rams down by 2 points, but getting close to that scoring area here. But 31 seconds left in the half. Coming up at halftime, those listen to the radio, you'll get the Box to Row Blitz with Donald Ware. I got an interview coming up, and Coach Massey has highlights from Friday night.
Round 2.
Yeah, watching the video stream. We'll resume action in the 3rd quarter. But 31 ticks to go. Back to pass. Knowles looks right, throwing it this way and looking for Corey Petty. And the fans want a flag. No flag's going to come out there. Petty trying to make the catch with the coverage out there. Number 28 is going to be Pascal, but no flag. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
That took they say 5 seconds off the clock, and boy, Petty was trying to come back to the ball on a back shoulder throw, and the defender didn't get his head around. So I don't know. The Rams fans might have a reason to complain about that one.
It'll be 3rd and 2. Albany State still at the 30-yard line. Play clock down to about 12 seconds. 4 receivers this time. 1 back in the backfield as Knowles back to pass. Quick pass is going to be caught by Jackson, and he is going to get the first down at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10, Albany State. But time a factor here. 20 seconds to go. Albany State's going to try and down it. And I don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
18 seconds shown on the clock. Did they allow him to down it, or what happened? Looks like they were blowing it dead before he even tried to down it, so I'm not sure.
So they're still going to say it's 1st down.
Well, I think he did this. So I think, the referee saying 2nd down.
Okay, so, yeah, they're working with 40 seconds off the play clock, so that down did kind of 2nd down. Rams get a chance to reset themselves and call a play.
18 seconds left in the half here. 2nd down and 10 at the 26-yard line. Knowles going to throw it incomplete. And fans thought they caught him in the neutral zone again at the snap.
Boy, and just like that, the Rams are going to be in 3rd down and 10 with only 14 seconds left. And this pass pretty much has to go to the end zone or out of bounds because we have 1 timeout left, so I guess you could throw it to the middle of the field. But not good management right here. The Rams looking around, a couple of things not going their way with the officials.
3rd down and 10, still at the 26 of Valdosta State. Knowles ready to go on 3rd down. Back to pass. Waits, throwing it over the middle to the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. So he was looking for his receiver, Jackson, and that safety came over there, tried to close on the ball, couldn't quite make the interception, number 24. And Albany State boy dodged the bullet there. He had a beat on that ball there. As number 24, Curtis, who was that, John Vier?
Kyle Wright's going to come out to attempt a 44-yard field goal. Rams really were hoping they could get a little more yardage right there, but this will be his long. His long for the year so far is 38.
So 8 seconds ago here, 44-yard field goal attempt. Kyle Wright. Here's the snap. The place down. Kick is up high enough. And will it make it? Hit the left upright. No good.
He had enough on it.
So no good. Second one off that same upright. PAT for Valdosta State. Field goal for the Rams was still sitting at 23-21 with 3 seconds left here in the half. And I'm presuming the Blazers going to take a knee because they'll get the ball here at the third quarter.
We'll see. the way they've been able to split this Rams defense with the deep crossing routes, I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and just threw one. But again, like you said, they do get the ball back. They do get the second half kickoff. So either way, they're in a good shape, looking to score right here and score again. You're right there in victory formation, just going to be content to go into halftime.
So they'll take a knee, and that'll take us to halftime. So your halftime score is Valdosta State 23, Albany State 21. Coach Massey, what do you think about these first 30 minutes in this playoff?
It's a shootout by both teams. Valdosta can and
That's the end.
How many times we
That's the
punted
first
the
half.
ball? We punted twice, and they punted once, I believe, haven't we? No?
I think they punted twice.
Twice,
they
okay.
punted after their first two drives. After that, they scored on the next 4 drives.
And I guarantee they're going to go
next three drives.
in the locker room there and talk about maintaining possession here in the second half.
Yeah, so what do you think the strategy is for Albany State, Norman, and what is this halftime talk going to be about?
Well, Albany State has to make some defensive adjustments, obviously. In the secondary, they're getting gashed right now.
Yeah.
And not getting pressure on the quarterback. And so that's the first thing you got to try to
Please
figure.
put
On the
20
offense,
minutes on the
you
game
just got
clock.
to figure out a way to get the running game going because you want to kind of slow this game down. The more possessions Valdosta State gets, the more chances they get in the score. You want to see Holcomb on the sideline.
Okay, it's halftime. Again, those of you watching the video stream, of course, resuming on ESPN Plus coming up the third quarter. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the Box to Row Blitz with Donald Ware. But right now, at halftime, your score is Valdosta State 23, Albany State 21. It's the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs from Albany, Georgia. We'll be right back. All right, so what we're going to do is now get to the Box to Row Blitz. My man Donald Ware bringing you the Box to Row Blitz. Let's go with it right now as he does a great job.
This is your weekly edition of the HBCU Blitz powered by Box to Row. I'm Donald Ware. First, I'm going to take you to Albany, Georgia for the SIAC championship matchup between Albany State and Benedict. Let's pick things up inside of 2 minutes. Benedict is driving to try to tie the ball game. It's 4th and 10 from the Albany State 26.
Ocean gets his troops ready here. 4 receivers. Back to pass on 4th down. Sets up. Wait.
down the
throwing it to the end
middle.
zone. And it's going to be incomplete.
That was my main man, Freddie Fresh Suttles, on the Albany State Sports Radio Network. The Golden Rams win the SIAC championship, hold on to defeat Benedict 22-16. So the Golden Rams move on to the Division II playoffs, where they will host perennial power Valdosta State. Meanwhile, Benedict goes into the Division II playoffs and will play at Wingate on Saturday. To Jackson, Mississippi for the matchup between Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman, a pivotal matchup in the East. Let's pick things up with about 30 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Bethune-Cookman with possession, trailing 21-13.
Jackson State shows middle blitz again. They'll bring
Wide
it.
open up top.
Cam looking, throwing, intercepted at the 20-yard line. That's going to go back for a touchdown. Jackson State's going to win the football game. A pick 6 of 80 yards down the left-hand sideline. BJ Washington ends the game.
That was Michael Turillo on the Cat Eye Sports Network. The Tigers would defeat Bethune-Cookman 28-13, one step closer to clinching the SWAC East. But in order to do so, the Tigers are going to have to get past a hot Alcorn State team.
On first down, here is Reggie Davis, and he scores. So Reggie Davis gives the Braves a 20-16 lead.
Alcorn State and Grambling locked up in Lorman, Mississippi, as Alcorn State went on to defeat a hot Grambling team 27-16. Perhaps the hottest team now in the SWAC is Alcorn State, having won its last 4 games and will be at Jackson State trying to play spoiler on Saturday. To Durham, North Carolina.
Snap it back to him to give it to Josh Shaw. Shaw fights through it to 25. Shaw breaks free to 20. 15, 10, 5. Josh Shaw, 30-yard touchdown run.
North Carolina Central hosting South Carolina State in an important MEAC game. That touchdown run with 151 remaining in the 4th gave the Bulldogs the 34-27 lead. Could they hold on?
12 seconds to go. Harris back to pass. This could be the last play of the game. Harris throws it out. It is dropped. Christian Mosley dropped it. South Carolina State's going to win the game.
Ernest Robinson and Bill Hamilton on the South Carolina State Bulldog Football Radio Network. The Bulldogs would hold on to defeat the Eagles 34-27, setting up the showdown on Saturday for the MEAC championship in Dover, Delaware against Delaware State. Former HBCU players now playing in the National Football League had a big...
That's fine. We can reconnect. Well, let's reconnect right now then. I'll call you right back. One of them days. Connect to this box again.
Sit by myself.
Hello? Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah. So, is the radio still live? Norman was telling me it was just streaming only, or was? Okay. Yeah. Cause Cause I know I wasn't hearing anything. I can hear the commercial now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right, and I just start the blitz. Okay, cool. All right, thanks a lot, Albany State University and Valdosta State at halftime here. NCAA Division II playoffs, 23-21. Valdosta State with a 2-point lead. And third quarter kickoff coming up in about 11, 12 minutes from now. But right now, let's go to Donald Ware in the Box to Row Blitz.
This is your weekly edition of the HBCU Blitz, powered by Box to Row. I'm Donald Ware. First, I'm going to take you to Albany, Georgia for the SIAC championship matchup between Albany State and Benedict. Let's pick things up inside of 2 minutes. Benedict is driving to try to tie the ball game. It's 4th and 10 from the Albany State 26.
Ocean gets his troops ready here. 4 receivers. Back to pass on 4th down. Sets up. Wait.
Down the middle.
And it's going to be incomplete.
That was my main man, Freddie Fresh Suttles, on the Albany State Sports Radio Network. The Golden Rams win the SIAC championship, hold on to defeat Benedict 22-16. So the Golden Rams move on to the Division II playoffs, where they will host perennial power Valdosta State. Meanwhile, Benedict goes into the Division II playoffs and will play at Wingate on Saturday. To Jackson, Mississippi for the matchup between Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman, a pivotal matchup in the East. Let's pick things up with about 30 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Bethune-Cookman with possession, trailing 21-13.
Jackson State shows middle blitz again. They'll bring
Wide
it.
open up top.
Cam looking, throwing, intercepted at the yard line, and that's going to go back for a touchdown. Jackson State's going to win the football game. A pick six of 80 yards down the left-hand sideline. B.J. Washington ends the game.
That was Michael Trillo on the Cat Eye Sports Network. The Tigers would defeat Bethune-Cookman 28-13, one step closer to clinching the SWAC East. But in order to do so, the Tigers are going to have to get past a hot Alcorn State team.
On first down, here is Reggie Davis, and he scores. So Reggie Davis gives the Braves a 20-16 lead.
Alcorn State and Grambling locked up in Lorman, Mississippi, as Alcorn State went on to defeat a hot Grambling team 20-16. Perhaps the hottest team now in the SWAC is Alcorn State, having won its last 4 games and will be at Jackson State trying to play spoiler.
Isaiah Knowles, 15 out of 21. Had the one interception on a tip pass. Has 172 yards and one touchdown. His leading receiver is Amari Stewart. He's caught 9 passes for 72 yards. And Jamil Williams also came up with 4 catches. Amari Stewart has 6 catches. Jamil Williams has 3 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. Their leading receivers are Alan Council has 5 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. Amani Hayes has a catch, 16-yard touchdown. The leading tackler is Jaden Dawkins for Valdosta State with 4. Jarius Curry has a sack. Albany State's the leading tackler is Luke Rose, 3 tackles. Tara Gain also has 3 tackles. And I don't think Albany State has a sack in the game against Holcomb, who's a pretty elusive quarterback, as we'll get to see on this first drive as we start the second half.
So we're ready for the third quarter here, as Albany State will be kicking off the Valdosta State. The Blazers won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half as Rams get ready to kick it off. They'll be kicking off from left to right here at the ASU Coliseum. So the Rams have an 8-1 record since they played on the blue surface. Only loss has been to Shaw University. That was the first game on the turf, and the Rams have won 8 straight. But something's got to give today. We'll see what happens, though. Albany State only down by 2 points. Valdosta State, we got 30 minutes of football left in the third quarter as we went through the stats. Double return team back set deep for Valdosta State inside the 5-yard line as Kyle Wright is waiting for the whistle, and we are ready for third quarter action. And now the referee will blow it in, and we are ready to resume play here. Third quarter.
Please start the play clock on my signal.
Yeah, so the referee is talking to his officials up top. Start the play clock on his signal and having some issue with that play clock not going. But we do get the kickoff by Kyle Wright, and it'll come down at the 5-yard line. Valdosta State on the return again. And again, boy, right through there. And no whistles, and he's going to run it. And is he going all the way? 95-yard kick return for a touchdown?
And I was just about to say, this guy had a good kick return the last time. Boy, the Rams didn't get he danced along that sideline.
He sure
that
did.
far sideline. He was ruled inbounds the entire way. It looked like the Rams had a couple of chances to push him out of bounds. And I mentioned before when he got to the head of steam that I didn't think Kyle Wright wanted to try to get in front of him. Kyle Wright tried to push him out of bounds there and just failed. And boy, just like that, I thought we were going to see the quarterback. Valdosta State says, "Oh well, we'll just take it all the way back for the touchdown."
Stafford Anderson, that's who they have listed wearing jersey number 31. 95-yard kick return, 29-21. Just like that, opening kickoff of the third quarter. Blazers extend the lead. Here's the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. So 30-21. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Sean Pascal. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. He's not on either one, but we'll pick it up. Yeah. Thank you, there. Yeah. So either way, yeah, we're getting it right. Sean Pascal is the guy. So he's the guy that he's listed in the stats as the guy that scored the touchdown. Wow. So he has the kick return there. So either way, we have 2 rosters that are not right from Valdosta State, but finally we get it right.
And Pascal is the guy that came in today for Valdosta State, showing it that he'd had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown, so that makes more sense that he's the guy that took that one back. And I was going to say earlier, boy, we have to watch out for that guy. And just like that, on back-to-back kickoffs, first of all, he gave Valdosta State really good field position that set him up for their last scoring drive. And then right there, he just took it all the way to the house himself.
So, yeah, he normally listed at wearing number 33, so I think I picked it up right here. 5'9", 185-pound freshman from Pompano Beach, Florida. So, yeah, so I make that correction on this roster here. So, 31 right there.
And Albany State finds themselves down for the first time in a long time at this on this home field by 2 scores.
9-point lead here, 30-21, Valdosta State. Kickoff in the end zone, and Albany State will take over at the Ram 25-yard line. We're in the third quarter here. 14:46 to go in Albany, Georgia, as the Blazers
Shocked the crowd here a little bit.
they've been on fire though. 4 straight wins and 4 wins over good teams. North Greenville.
Yeah.
They had to beat West Alabama, Delta State, and West Florida, and all those conference games right down the line there to win the conference and to make the playoffs. And each week it was just win or nothing. If they had lost one of those games, especially conference games, they wouldn't be here. Yeah, so they're leading it down by 9 points. Albany State offense will come out. Isaiah Knowles will send Stewart to the left. Got 2 receivers to the right side. Knowles looking at that Blazer defense here on first down. And ground game, they run up the middle, and Tiant White is going to run it, fight his way out for about 9 yards to the 34-yard line. So nothing fancy. They just went straight up the gut on the Blazer defense and got 9 yards. So 2nd down and 1 coming up. Rams with 3 receivers to the far side. They give it to White, the running back. Is going to get the Rams first down and be stood up at about the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 Albany State. So a new set of downs here for the Golden Rams.
Rams start the second half with a couple of runs. We mentioned that they probably want to try to slow this game down. That kickoff return for a touchdown took a little bit of wind out of that sail. May have changed that strategy in our minds, but like Coach Gray sticking with what he probably needs to do here.
They give it to him again. White, they feed him across the 40 and fighting his way out to about the 42-yard line. So White again on the run there for the Rams.
And it looked like the O-line for the Rams are doing a good job of blocking that big front right there. We ain't thrown the ball yet.
Yeah, like you said, the game is a lot of time won in the trenches. So Albany State, 2nd down, about 5 to go here. Knowles to throw it. Now he wants to run. He takes off and hit. And
oh boy, Knowles took a big hit from zero.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to go into the slide.
Yeah, Moorhead, Tyler Moorhead, 226 5'10" linebacker out of Homerville, Georgia. Just there last night. Put a big hit on it.
First down, though, at the 47-yard line of Albany State. Rams, about 13 minutes to go here. We're in the 3rd quarter. 30-21, 9-point lead for the Blazers out of Valdosta, Georgia. Albany State with the ball here. Knowles on first down to throw it, and he flips it out to White out of the backfield. The 45, make a man miss and get a first down at about the 40-yard line of Valdosta State.
Well, that's some impressive quickness by White, because there were 2 Valdosta State linebackers that had him just like teed up, and he just went right around both of them. Very quick, very good quickness by the Albany State running back.
So 1st and 10, Albany State in Blazer territory. Knowles yelling out the count. Wants to pass it again. Jamil Williams. Screen play, and this will be a negative play. So broken up there. Number 29 was the guy on it. Johnny on the spot right there. The Rams go to that screen, but number 29 Thomas had to disrupt that thing there in the backfield.
He just came flying across the line of scrimmage right there, and yeah, like you said, disrupted.
Yeah, the blocking wasn't set up that good, but boy, if Knowles would have just turned around and looked over to his other side, he had White wide open and was on that side of the field that he had to beat.
It'll be 2nd and 12 after the loss. Line of scrimmage to 42. Albany State put a man in motion here. 2nd down and long. Play action. Knowles to throw it. Hit as he throws the ball. It'll go out of bounds. And boy, he took another big shot there. Isaiah Knowles able to tough it up and get off the ground. It'll be 3rd down and 10. I believe number 8 was the guy that laid it on him there. It's going to be, that's going to be Rance Connor with the hit. 3rd and 12 coming up, and I think they're probably in 4-down territory here, knowing the way Coach Gray likes to call the plays and where they are on the field.
And it's all according to what the Rams do as far as on this play right here, Fred.
Yeah, if it's a negative play, then maybe you would see the punting team, but we'll see. So 3rd and 12, Albany State. They need to make the 30-yard line for a first down. Empty backfield, back to pad, blitzing. And he's just going to break a tackle at the last minute and won't get away from the second guy. Going to be a sack. Number 29 able to come in there and get the sack. Thomas again on the play, and now this is most likely going to be a punting situation here for the Golden Rams.
Yeah, Valdosta brought the kids from St.
Yeah, I think I counted 6 guys that time. Yeah. That's just more than Albany State could block. And a couple of guys got free. Mr. Salmon on the offensive line, they sent one of those guys late after everybody was engaged, and he put the initial pressure on Knowles, able to escape that, but just too many players coming at him, and boy, that Valdosta State shuts down. Good defense.
So 4th down and about 17. Dingle on the punt here for the Rams. He gets the punt away, and it'll go down and be down. It'll make the end zone. A chance, but this is going to be a touchback.
And, boy, that's the kind of play, if y'all been in state, that's the kind of play you needed to make. You had a chance to down that thing at the 1 or 2 yard line and set yourself up for some potential defensive explosion there. And just like that, just to slip off the finger, and Valdosta State got comfortably out at the yard line with a 2-score lead.
So the 47-yard punt, but it'll be a net of like 27 after it comes out to the 20 on the touchback. So 10:55 here in the 3rd quarter. Valdosta State with the ball leading it by 9 points, 30-21. They go from right to left as the quarterback will hand off to Reddick. Reddick around the corner and fighting his way about to the 25-yard line. So a quick 5 yards there for Reddick, coming in as the leading rusher for Valdosta State. 603 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. He averages right about 6 yards a carry.
They sealed our end on that, their end on that particular play right there. 2nd down.
So 2nd and 5 at their 25-yard line. Blazers will put the tight end Wandu in motion. High snap over the head of the quarterback. Holcomb, it's a free ball. The Rams get it. Isaiah Morrison with the recovery. And the Rams are in business at the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
Norm, that's the kind of break.
Valdosta State made their first offensive mistake of the game right there, boy. Just like you said, a high snap. Quarterback looked like he had a chance to get that ball before Morrison got there.
He just gave up on it.
Yeah.
Morrison recovered. They'll spot it down at the 13-yard line. So a break there, turnover. Albany State will have the ball at the 13-yard line with 10:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter, trailing by 9 points. And that play clock is running already.
All right. Oh.
Albany State's defense helps them out. Let's see if they can get out on the field and make this a 1-score game again, because, boy, like you said, every score had been a lead changer except for that last one.
1st down to 13. They give it to White. White's trying to bounce outside and won't do it. It's going to be hit for a loss at the 15-yard line.
Boy, that's just good quickness by number 25 for Valdosta State, because of if Moore, the defensive back, came up, and if he doesn't get the running back there, he gets around the corner, he could probably get to that end zone. But, boy, that's just good quickness to get out there and get his hands around the waist of White. Should not let him go.
LeBarian Moore with that play, 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12, line of scrimmage to 15-yard line. Play clock, about 12 seconds on it, taking a little time there to get the play in there from the sideline. Knowles ready to go here, receivers. Man in motion here, Jackson. On 2nd and 12, they give it to White. White's breaking and trying to fight off, but he had that same guy in the backfield, had to escape one and then ran right into the arms of another one, got a tough yard to the 14-yard line. It'll be 3rd down 11 coming up here for Albany State.
Valdosta did a good job of crashing down on that one, Norm.
Much like the Albany State defense did when Valdosta State had a turnover on their first play of the game, actually, down here on the same end of the field. Albany State are able to hold up defensively and make
throw over the middle, and he right to the umpire.
And because now the Albany State fans want a flag, because the defender did make contact with the receiver, but because the ball was hit, even the official is part of the field.
He should have laid down, right?
No.
You quick enough to get out of the way of that ball.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm cat quick out there. You know, I ain't. Yeah.
But the ball, he's part of the field, the umpire, so it'll be a field goal try coming up. Incomplete pass here. 8:44 to go here. So Kyle Wright, this will be from 31 yards, this time from the left angle.
Kyle Wright's already missed a 44-yarder right at the end of the first half.
And we get a flag down.
This time?
And that was from the side, though. That was from the head linesman.
False start, 65. Offense.
Against Albany State.
5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
They're saying must have been a legal snap, so the center must have, I'm guessing
Double
the center.
clutch.
Yeah, maybe.
That's going to make it a little long. That field goal was good, and then probably would have been good from this. This is going to be a 36-yarder.
Yeah.
The other one would have been good for 36. But
Yeah, my mistake. There wasn't a center. It was one of the other offensive linemen up there. Because Ivy does the snapping now. So here we go here. It'll be a little bit longer here. They'll put it down at about the 26, 36-yard field goal attempt coming up here for Kyle Wright. Here's a snap, placed down, kick is blocked. And Valdosta State, a chance to pick it up, and on the return, Blazers. And they say he's out of bounds. Out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So 8:33 to go. The kick is blocked by Valdosta State.
And the kick wasn't blocked by Valdosta State. It was it probably hit an Albany State player because it just never got off the ground. I don't know if there was something wrong with the snap and hold, but that was a terrible-looking kick. The kick before, 5 yards made that much of a difference when you have to go do it again, I guess, because they just didn't get the operation right, and it came out low. Valdosta State easily blocked it or hit the back of Albany State player, and just like that, they're able to turn the Rams away with no points after that fumble recovery.
All right. We'll pause a moment here for station identification. All right, thanks a lot. We had a snap there by the Blazers on first down, and Albany State able to make a big stop there at about the 38-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 12, a 2-yard loss. 8:18, the clock ticking to go here. We're in the third quarter. NCAA Division II playoffs, campus of Albany State. The Coliseum, we call this place the Rams Den. Valdosta State leading it by 9 points, 30-21. So again, the winner will move on to the second round. They'll take on the winner of the Wingate versus Benedict game, which is happening up there in North Carolina. 2nd and 12, Holcomb in the gun, back to pass on second down. All day, now flushed out to the left. Nailed as he threw the ball, hit his tight end, Wandu making the catch, and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
That's a great play by Holcomb. You just have to give him credit on that one. He was being pressured by all kind of Rams, and he was able to escape out here to his left and then throw a pass. He's a right-hand quarterback. Float one over the defenders right into his tight end hands. Tight end turns around, makes a good play downfield, good scramble downfield, and Valdosta State's knocking at the door again.
The tight end came in with 14 receptions for 212 yards, and that was a big play all the way down to the Ram 33-yard line. So 1st and 10 Blazers. Again, they're ready to go here. Slot to the far side of the field. They got in the backfield, the running back Reddick. Reddick looking to break a tackle, fighting his way, and won't get away from the second guy. So good penetration there by Albany State defensively. It'll be a yard loss to about the 34-yard line. 2nd down 11 coming up here for the VSU Blazers.
Big possession here by the Rams. They need to do exactly what Valdosta State just did. They need to find a way to turn this Valdosta State offense around without giving up any points. The only points we've had in the third quarter so far, that kickoff return on the very first play. And other than that, Albany State's offense hadn't been able to get anything going. Valdosta State having a chance right here.
2nd down 11. They're ready to go here. Holcomb yelling out the count. Back to pass again on 2nd down. Throwing it far side of the field. Man wide open. Tight end again, Wandu. And the Rams just lost him in coverage. He's open. It'll be 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. So Joel Wandu able to find a soft spot in the secondary against the Rams, and his quarterback Holcomb delivered the ball. It'll be 1st and goal coming up right at about the 5-yard line. So the Blazers quickly get the snap off Reddick. Oh, fumble. Ball on the ground. A chance to pick it up. Albany State on the return. Gainey. And he's going to get it out to about the 45-yard line. Another fumble by the quarterback. And the Rams get a big break as Tyrell Gainey able to pick that thing up. If he could have picked it up clean, he'd be gone. But the Rams turn the Blazers away and get the ball out to the 45-yard line.
That's just what the Rams needed, because just like I just mentioned, they had to find a way to turn that Valdosta State offense around without allowing any more points, and they're able to do it on another turnover. And boy, still a competitive game. Valdosta State was looking to go in right there, and if they do, that would have been really bad for Albany State. They would have been up by 16 points with the good conversion. And boy, that's a big margin overcoming in the second half. They can pin their ears back and go after the quarterback, who they've already been harassing a lot. So that was a big play, big fumble and recovered by Albany State.
Well, Gainey wishes he could have picked it up clean because he would have been gone. Either way, it's a big play for the Rams. First down to Albany State 45. Knowles the pass, steps away from a defender. On the run, midfield, 45, still running, 40, 35, and out of bounds at the Blazers sideline. Nice run there by the quarterback.
And Knowles felt that pressure coming from his right. He's able to step up and then go back to his left. Found some space down that sideline, and boy, the Rams needed that. Need to get this back to a one-score game as quick as possible.
25-yard run by the Albany State quarterback. First down at the Blazers 30-yard line. 5:25 to go. Third quarter here. 30-21 your score. 9-point lead for VSU, but Albany State now on the move. Knowles gonna put Williams in motion here on first down. He wants to pass. Rotates this way. Under pressure, throw it the last minute. Williams couldn't make the catch at the 20. Had a chance there, hit him in the hands and couldn't pull it down.
Yeah, Williams was able to find a little soft spot in there when his quarterback was scrambling. Hit him right in the hands. He was surrounded by 3 or 4 Valdosta State players, so he's probably going to go down right there, but he has the first down if he comes up with that ball cleanly.
It'll be 2nd and 10 Albany State here. Clock will stop, 5:04 to go. Stewart was split to the far side of the field. Got Williams and Jackson over here to the near side. And the Rams, high snap to his quarterback, Knowles, pumps. Now he wants to take off and run again. He'll slide. And then down at about the 28-yard line, so only a couple of yards there, and it'll be third down coming up.
Had everybody covered too. Go ahead, no.
I think the Rams were trying to get the ball to the tight end Davis right there, right down the center. They did that little fake in the middle of play action, and Knowles was looking to come up and have his tight end running down the seam, and boy, somebody from Valdosta State just jumped right in the line. He had to pull that thing down and just try to get what he could. And boy, it's going to put the Rams in a 3rd and about 8. This is a big play.
Empty set here. They're going to go empty, 5 receivers here for Knowles. Play clock down to 9 seconds. Valdosta State able to make some substitutions as well on defense. So a big play here. 3rd and 8 at the 28-yard line of Valdosta State. Knowles.
Timeout.
Rams going to take a timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with 4:14 to go. Back in just a moment.
First charge timeout of the second half.
All right, thanks a lot. And we are back to action here at the ASU Coliseum. Albany State and Valdosta State Division II playoffs. Rams used the timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 8 scrimmage, the 28-yard line of Valdosta State. Strategy here, Coach Massey.
Strategy for the Rams, they have really got to make a first down first. Sure hands as far as getting positive yards.
So we'll see what they draw up here. 3rd down and 8. 4:14 to go here. The Rams down by 9 points, 30-21. So Albany State, empty backfield, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Knowles, play clock running down to 6 seconds. See if they can get the snap off here. And they do. Back to pass. He's going to step up on the run. He can get the first down. He'll get the first down. And down at about the 20, right there where he needed to be. And it's going to depend on the spot.
I think he got it.
Have they indicated yet? It's going to be close.
It moved.
It's going to be really close. Wait for the umpire to put it down.
Saying third down.
Wow. He put it back on the 21-yard line. Wow. Tough spot there here. So here we go. It'll be fourth down and about a yard to go here for Albany State. Knowles empty again is going to go for it, and he'll get the Ram first down to 10, to 5. How about a touchdown, Albany State? Isaiah Knowles. And you knew what was coming, and the Blazers not able to stop it, and the Rams with another TD.
One of the offensive linemen for Albany State, number 62, Leon Wesley. We called his name before on a penalty, we thought was a penalty on him. Boy, that time he took whoever that linebacker was, and we don't have a replay to see who it was, but he took that linebacker from about the 20-yard line down to about the 8 and pancaked him, and that's the holes that Knowles were able to exploit for the touchdown.
So point after try to try and make it a 2-point game. Kyle Wright. Here's the snap. Place down. Kick is up. It is good. So your new score, 30-28. Valdosta State lead is cut down to 2 points. Albany State back to a one-possession game here with 3:33 to go here in the third quarter.
Well, both teams has had some miscues that are keeping this game close. Either team could actually have a bigger lead, but also State, if they hadn't had those two quarterback mishandles with the snap, they probably are by 16 points. And if Albany State would have got the extra the field goal right there at the end of the game and played better on special teams, ifs I'm giving all these ifs, but they could be ahead in this game. So it's a really close game, despite it's a close score to tell you. And like we talked about, all those lead changes and everything going on, but this is a really close game.
And the Rams want to try to keep the ball away from the guy that got the touchdown at 95 yards.
Yeah, we'll see if they try and kick away from it. So, 95-yard kick return there by Sean Pascal. And he's had a great game, a 53-yard touchdown run, a 95-yard kick return. His all-purpose yards are going to be something special for this game. He's well over 100, almost about 150.
Yeah, and he had another kickoff return for about 40 yards as well. Albany State has had kick returns before, faced dangerous kick returners before, and adjusted their kickoff style, like kicking it, pooch kicking, making way for fair catches, those kind of things. So I look for them to do that kind of thing right here to kind of take it away, take it out of his hands.
Yeah, I say 150, probably about 200 yards all-purpose yards.
Wow.
Yeah. So 3:33 to go here. We're in the third quarter, 30-28. Boy, don't go anywhere. As Albany State and Valdosta State are battling, and boy, the fans are getting their money's worth here. So kickoff coming up here for Kyle Wright. See if he try to kick it away from Pascal, who's waiting for it inside the 5-yard line. Here's the run up. And this time they kind of angle pooch it. And it'll be caught by one of the upbacks. I think he must have waited for a fair catch. Number 34 there for Valdosta State. And that is, I believe, Televas, a backup tight end. So it'll be first down, Blazers, 25-yard line. 3:33 showing on the clock here in the third quarter. So again, these two teams battling to move on to the second round of the Division II playoffs. The national championship game will be in McKinney, Texas. And what the NCAA did this year, 32 teams going in. No one with a bye week. I don't like that. I like earning a bye.
Yeah.
Give you something to play for. But they go to this format with 32 teams in the playoffs, and they will run the ball here to this same guy, Pascal, around the corner, 40, midfield, 45, 40, 35, 30.
There's a flag.
And
this is all
he is going to be down inside the 5-yard line, a flag down at about the 23.
Yeah, it's all coming back. You can always tell when the officials don't all run down the field that they're going to bring this thing back. And in the backfield, I think that there was a hole that sprung Pascal for that long run.
And the referee is looking downfield, so this evidently is coming back.
Hold it.
Yeah.
65. Offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
They've been running that play.
Holding call on number 65, Ty Merkel, up there on the line of scrimmage. So that would have been about a 73-yard run, because he got caught inside the 5-yard line. But either way, it's coming back. It'll be a 10-yard penalty that'll move it back to the 15. First and 20 coming up here for the Blazers.
Quick score update here in the third quarter, about 4 minutes left. Kentucky State down to Newberry, 31-17. Also down in the third quarter, I'm scared coming up to halftime, Wingate leading 17-0 over Benedict.
So Reddick on the run there and caught in the backfield for a loss. So Corey Reddick, not a whole lot of running room there, is going to be negative yards. So good surge there by the Dirty Blue defense. They'll spot him down at the 13. It'll be second down and 22.
The other game in the Super Region is West Florida leading North Greenville 15-6. That game is approaching halftime.
I'm quite sure Valdosta now is going to try to find number 1 here, that guy.
Second and 22, back at the 13-yard line. Holcomb back to pass on second down and long. All day to throw it and looking for his back out of the backfield and not going to be complete there. So Iman Davis with the coverage is incomplete. It'll be third and 22.
Albany State had, I believe, 8 sacks last week when they played Benedict in the SIAC championship game, and they have yet to sack Holcomb. So you have to give Valdosta State's offensive line a lot of credit, and then you have to get a quarterback credit. Like you say, Coach Mass, he's agile. He has some escapability back there.
Jamison Holcomb, he's a transfer from Murray State, also was at Troy. He's a junior quarterback.
Okay.
So
big play by the Rams.
He's from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Third down and 22, back at the 13. Back to pass, Holcomb, waits, throwing it, far side of the field, and it's Gainey over there to make sure it wasn't caught. So Gainey boy having a great season for Albany State, 4 interceptions, and that time able to knock it away from the intended receiver. It'll be fourth and 22.
And that's the first 3 and out we've seen for this Valdosta State offense since the second possession of the first half.
Oh, wow.
So they've had a lot of success against this Albany State defense before that right there. The other 2 plays, the last 2 possessions actually ended in turnovers with bad snaps, but that time Albany State's defense able to stand up.
So Jamil Williams waiting for the punt inside the Ram 45-yard line. They get the punt away, and it'll take a bounce, and Williams at the 40 and a chance to return it, trying to get around the corner, turns it upfield and down at about the 42-yard line. So 2-yard return there for Williams. Albany State pretty good field position at the 42 with 2:08 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's only a 2-yard return by Williams, but he probably stayed around about 10 or 15 yards because that ball had taken the kind of bounce that it was going to keep bouncing downfield and probably would have been down around the 30 or 25-yard line. So good decision by him to go ahead and field it. He's able to field it cleanly and save the yards, some good field position.
All right. 30-28, 2-point lead here. Valdosta State leading it, but the Rams now with the ball here. Isaiah Knowles, the quarterback, has a touchdown pass in this ball game, has a rushing touchdown pass, run. So Knowles
play clock for him.
Missed 3.5 games. 5 seconds and see if they can get it off here on first down to 42. White make a cut, and boy, that nice little nifty run there, almost a little Barry Sanders move that he put on a guy and able to get into Blazer territory to the 44-yard line. That's quick feet there.
Albany State in that hurry up, moving quickly, much like they did on their first scoring drive.
Quick snap, they give it to him again, and this time he's just kind of loafing there and nothing happening. And the guy's waiting on him that time. So you saw the quick action, then next time just kind of waiting for something to open up, and it didn't. It'll be second and 10. And good job by those Blazers up front, able to kind of stand that line of scrimmage up, stand the offensive line up.
Yeah.
And White will come out for a breather here on second down and 10. McCrary in the game at running back here for Albany State. 1:23 to go. Third quarter, clock moving here. 2-point game. Albany State and Valdosta State fighting here in the first round of the playoffs. 4th time they've met in the playoffs. Here's a quick pass that Knowles, and it's going to be incomplete. A little short hop there to his receiver.
Well, and just like that, it's third down and 10. And the Rams had a great field position, able to get a good run on the first play and get stymied on on the next first down. And then the incomplete pass here. And then right there, third down, another big possession play, like you say, Coach Massey.
Yes, sir.
And Albany State needs this one if they want to go down and try to contest with his lead.
So it'll be third down here for Albany State. They make a few substitutions. They're going to go again with the empty backfield here. Knowles surveying that defense. Got a 3-man front, but they're creeping up, and they bring the blitz. Quick pass, and it's incomplete. I think he wanted. Yeah, I think he was looking for Stewart, but it was deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down and Albany State punting team will have to come out.
Boy, the Rams had good field position and a good first play, but just like that, 3 plays and then nothing else. Both defenses stay able to stand up on these last 2 possessions, and Albany State looking to pin Valdosta State deep.
Liam Dingle, the punter, had a chance a moment ago on a punt to pin him inside the 5-yard line, but it went into the end zone. We'll see what happens.
Valdosta's up.
Got 9 men creeping up there, and they bring a couple of guys. He gets the punt away, and it'll take a bounce and out of bounds. So out of bounds depends on the spot where they say it went out, and it'll be at the 19. So first down, Valdosta State at their 19 with 1:04 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So Blazers offense will take over here as they still hang on to a 2-point lead here in the Good Life City. These teams have played. This is the 25th meeting between the 2 teams, and Valdosta State has 22 wins, 2 wins for Albany State. Those wins coming in 04 and 17.
You mentioned that the Gulf South Conference that Valdosta State plays in, there are only 3 teams other than Valdosta State left in that team. So those teams are searching for a conference. I know for a while there was talk of Valdosta State maybe even joining the SIAC. So they'll see each other a lot more often if that happens.
We'll see how that plays out here. First down run, Corey Reddick on the run there. And he'll get across the 20 out to maybe the 22. We'll give him about 3 yards on that. It'll be 2nd down 7 there. So Rams stood him up there after 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 play coming up here for Valdosta State. 3rd quarter about to run out here.
40 seconds.
Should get another play, maybe 2 in here before we go to the 4th. And yeah, you got to blow that one there. Albany State able to come across with contact, number 95 there, Joshua Jones. It came over and hit the center. So most likely what they call encroachment penalty coming up against the Rams.
Offsides.
Jones
number
coming
95.
outside, big number
defense.
99, Glenn in to take his
5-yard
place.
penalty. 2nd down.
That helps out. After good work on first down there to hold the running back to just a couple of yards, then you give him a 5-yard bonus right there and put him in 2nd and about 2, a little bit less than 3. And now the Valdosta State can decide what they want to do here, because they may have been taking a shot then, but now you know they're probably going to put this ball deep downfield on one of these next 2 plays.
So after the penalty, it'll be 2nd and 2. Blazers resting the ball at their 27-yard line. Holcomb in the gun here. He will give it to Reddick, trying to get around the right edge there, and he's run to the sideline and out of bounds, and he's out around the 30-yard line. So out of bounds at about the 30, and it's going to be a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Valdosta State Blazers.
I was really surprised they didn't try to throw downfield on that play, because they've had a lot of success on those deep crossing routes against Albany State. On 2nd and 2. You feel like you can get it on 3rd down if you don't get it.
All right, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Your score, Valdosta State 30, Albany State 28. It's the first round of the Division II playoffs. 4th quarter coming up. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. Thanks a lot, and welcome back here to the Albany State University Coliseum as Albany State and Valdosta State. We got 15 minutes of football left. We're going to the 4th quarter. Valdosta State leading it 30-28 over Albany State. So right now, Coach Massey, like I was just telling you in the break, I think it's going to come down to who wants it the most.
Who wants it the most? And right now, Valdosta has control of what they want to do. They got a first down. Ball's at the 30-yard line. Maybe they're going to try to drive the ball down the field against the Rams.
Yeah, they switch ends. They now will go from left to right on your radio. Valdosta State, the visiting team. Wearing the white jerseys today, black pants, Rams, and all blue here. First down, Holcomb is going to hand off to Reddick, and Reddick lost him in there for a moment, and he's going to run almost up for a first down to 39-yard line. So a quick 9 yards there by Corey Reddick. Reddick out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Went to Atlantic High School, got 9 yards on the play, so a nice little run up the middle. It'll be second down, and now this is what you have to watch them going for that deep pass.
Yes.
Second and short. So second down and 1. Slot this time to the near side. Jamison Holcomb, the quarterback. Got a lot of time to work with here. Rams have they run a 4-2-5 defense. And here we go on the second down play. Reddick is going to be wrapped up and no gain on the play. So it'll bring up third down and 1, still at the 39-yard line.
That's a nice play by the Rams on defense.
So substitution, they're going to bring Pascal in the game at running back. He'll replace Reddick.
Big play by the Rams.
So receivers left and right here for the quarterback. 2 tight ends in the ball game. They'll give it to Pascal, and he's going to get the first down. So they needed a yard. He got about 1.5 yards. It'll be a first down just across the 40-yard line, 1st and 10.
And that's what Valdosta wants to do, control the line of scrimmage and get first downs, Fred. That's the third one, leading from the third quarter to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs. They're going to swing trips over here to the near side, 3 receivers. To the right of the quarterback, Holcomb. Line of scrimmage just across the 40-yard line. Pascal in the backfield, and Holcomb back to pass. He rolls right, throw at the last minute, and knocked down Wonton. Able to come swat it down, intended for the running back. Good play by the secondary there, Wonton for Albany State.
I thought he had a chance to look and break on that ball right there. Got a hand on it. Good job there. They tried to get that ball out in the flats to the receiver there, to the running back.
Yeah, so Jay-Sean Wonton, he's a freshman from Jacksonville, Florida. It'll be second down, 10 to go here. Valdosta State. We're in the fourth quarter here. 12:57 to go. 12:56 that is to go here in the ball game. A 2-point lead, 30-28. Valdosta State. They have the ball, second down and 10. Back to pass. Holcomb over the middle. Far side that is, and I think, did he maintain the catch?
No, he didn't.
And ball's on the ground there, intended for the tight end there, Wandu, and it'll be third down coming up.
And
thought for a moment he had it. Yeah. So it'll be 3rd and 10, still at about the 40-yard line, Valdosta State. They line up with a slot to the near side, and they'll reset the tight end and the running back here on 3rd down and long.
Play clock.
Holcomb, last minute instructions from the sideline here, 3rd down play. He wants to pass, quick pass, far side of the field, and it'll be incomplete. Gainey over there with the coverage on the intended receiver, number 82 Arnold, and it'll be 4th and 10. That might have been one time, my bad. I think that might have been 37 over there. No, I'm sorry, that was Gainey.
Rams played pretty good defense on that series right there. Valdosta trying to get it out on the edge.
Yeah, so 4th and 10. They were able to get that first down, but they stopped right there. Here's a quick snap here on 4th down, punting situation, and no chance to return it. And it'll go out of bounds again at the far side of the field here. So Albany State to get the ball back with 12:39 left in the ball game, down by 2 points.
Yes, Albany State defense doing a pretty good job after Valdosta State scored on 3 consecutive possessions there in the end of the first quarter, second quarter. They started this 3rd quarter, now the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Offense hadn't been able to score any points. Again, they did get down into the red zone before they had that fumble, but neither offense scoring as like they were in that first quarter, particularly the second quarter. 14 points, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then an Albany State touchdown on a run by their quarterback, Isaiah Knowles, only scoring in this half.
So first down Rams at the Albany State 23-yard line. Going from right to left here, Knowles in the gun. Got a running back behind him, White, the sophomore, looking for room and is going to get across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. So it'll be about 3 yards on the play there. White there off the right side there is the unstack here. Second down play coming up. So Albany State gonna load it up to the left side formation here on second down. They'll give it to White. White not able to break free. Got a guy on his ankles there. Had him wrapped up there right as he got the ball there. Number 30, I believe, there at the under the pile. That's a good defensive play as Daniel Jean able to just grab his ankles and hold on to him. And they bring him down at about the 27-yard line. So it'll be third down coming up 3rd and 6.
And that's the second time we've seen that where White just is an ankle from getting out of there and stepping through for a big play. And they were able to hold him down right there and put the Rams on a big third down play.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 here, Albany State at the Ram 27-yard line. Man in motion here for Knowles. Knowles to throw it. And it's caught. Jamil Williams at the 40. And taken down at about the 43-yard line. His helmet ripped off, but it's a first down for Albany State.
Nice catch.
So 1st and 10, Albany State. Williams making the catch, and he'll come to the Rams sideline.
The Rams able to convert there on third down. That's a big one. Third down is coming out of premium in this game, especially this here in the second half. Both defenses doing a good job of getting off the field, but that time the Rams are able to convert on a third and reasonably long.
Yeah, 16-yard pass play. Back to pass here. Knowles, quick pass, and did he catch it? Able to get his hands underneath it. Corey Petty. He's been quiet today, but he makes a catch there at the 48-yard line. So 5 yards on the pass play. It'll be 2nd and 5 coming up. Albany State just shy of midfield at the Albany State 48. Under 11 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Valdosta State trying to dig in right here. The Rams have had a couple of good-looking drives that Valdosta State was able to shut down.
Here coming.
This one for the
Knowles to pass it, looking for Javion Jackson. Almost made a catch. Almost able to come up with it there at the 10-yard line. Boy, that was a great effort there by Jackson. And out there with the coverage for Valdosta State to break it up at the very last moment. I believe that's number 3 out there on defense, Ricky Ransom. So, yeah, there's a big battle there. Almost a big catch, but broken up at the last second. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Now you got to Rams have to concentrate on trying to get this first down. Valdosta going to try to stop this big play.
Yeah, they've been sending heated nose on most of these third downs. They sent heat that time and had one-on-one coverage. Let's see what they dial up here.
So 3rd down and 5. They give it to White. White breaking through. He's going to get the Ram first down at the 40. And out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So White out of bounds. They'll spot him out at the 36, and he'll come out of the ballgame.
And they blitzed again. They sent a linebacker right up the middle.
Yes,
and the Rams, they anticipated that and sent White on a little quick hitter right off the left tackle there and able to get the first down.
Yeah, so White came out, so they gave Valdosta State opportunity to make a defensive substitution. So first down at the 36-yard line here for Albany State. Knowles wants to pass on first down, looks left. Now he rolls right, wide open field. He could run all day. And now he's going to take off and get what he can out of bounds. There was nobody within 20 yards of him. And he's able to get out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
Pick up a 5. That's a good decision by the quarterback. He was looking downfield, trying to see if anything was open. When it wasn't, he went ahead and got downfield and got out of bounds. This is a big-time defensive effort right here for Valdosta State because Albany State's almost in field goal range where they could take the lead with the 3 points. So you want to hold Albany State out right here for Valdosta State.
It'll be 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard run by the quarterback. Line of scrimmage, the 31-yard line. Trips to the near side here for Knowles. Quick pass. Jackson catch and a first down for Albany State inside the 25 at the 23.
They blitzed again.
Valdosta State's blitzing just about every play now, and the Rams seem to be finding little quick hitters to take advantage of it. Valdosta State's probably going to show that blitz and then jump back into some throwing lanes here pretty soon, so the Rams have to be very cautious with just coming up and throwing the ball, anticipating the blitz. Quarterback needs to make good decisions.
First down at the 23-yard line. They give it to McCrary. McCrary hit in the backfield and fighting his way and going to be tough. Don't know if he got a yard, but he ran into a guy and then finally taken down by a couple of those Blazers. Big number 95 and 92 down there underneath the stack there, able to slow him down.
Yeah, that Robinson, we've called his name a couple of times. 2 fumble recoveries and 43 tackles coming in to the day. So he's one of those big-time playmakers, and always around the ball for Valdosta State.
Yeah, give him maybe a yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line of the Blazers. Clock moving. We have 8:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. 2-point lead for Valdosta State. Albany State with the ball. Knowles, quick pass to Williams. Williams on the run at the 5, fighting his way close in the end zone. Touchdown! 23-yard pass play. Maybe 22, but either way, it's a TD for the Rams, and Albany State has retaken the lead with 8:22 to go in the ballgame.
That's just some tough running after the catch by Williams. He caught that thing, looked like around the 13-yard line, able to bounce off one player and then get a little momentum and then drag another player into the end zone with him. And, boy, that's what this Albany State team needed, coming away with some points at the end of this drive. Valdosta State's going to have to try to answer.
34-30, your new score. Albany State over the Blazers here. Point after try here for Kyle Wright. Long count here on the PAT attempt. Low, but it looks like it's right through there. It is good. 35-30 your score here with 8:22 to go. We're going to step away and take a timeout. Back with the kickoff in just a moment. You're listening to Albany State University and Valdosta State battling in the first round of the Division II playoffs. We'll be right back. All right, thanks again for tuning in to the NCAA Division II playoffs. Albany State on top now, Valdosta State by a score of 35-30 here in the Good Life City. Getting ready to kick it off. Kyle Wright, double return team, and boy, this man Pascal has been dangerous all day. Waiting for it at about the 5-yard line. So here's the run up by Wright. The kick kind of angle away from him, and it'll be caught. I think he waited for the fair catch, and it'll be dead at about there. It'll come out to about 25. Norman, what do you have?
Yeah, I was just going to give you a quick score update on some of the Super Region 2 games going on. Newberry has just kicked a field goal to open up a 13-point lead against Kentucky State. Scores 37. I'm sorry, they scored a touchdown actually. So yeah, the score was 31-24 a moment ago. Now at this point it's 37-24. Benedict still has scored against Wingate, so that score is 17-0. And see if we can get that.
Yeah, in a moment here. First down run. This time the Rams catch them in the backfield. It's going to be a loss. Pascal met by Ty Glenn and Andrew Ruffin. Go ahead.
The Rams were almost there for the handoff on that play right there, Don.
Yeah, go ahead, Nuke.
Yeah, that last score from the Super Region is West Florida still has a 15. Greenville has scored now, so it's 15-7 West Florida over North Greenville.
Clock moving here. Fourth quarter, 7:49 to go. Albany State leading at 35-30 over Valdosta State. 2nd and 13. Holcomb, the pass, throwing it deep, and is broken up at the last minute.
Good coverage by the Rams there. We had 3 or 4 that somebody ran the wrong route. There was a lot of traffic in there. Holcomb threw that pass, put that pass up in jeopardy. Luckily, it wasn't intercepted. Valdosta State player injured on the play.
Yeah, injured receiver down at about the 44-yard line with 7:39 to go. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 coming up here for the Blazers, and the Albany State fans are kind of into it right now. Rams leading it by 5 points, but still a lot of time to go here. 7:39 to go in the ballgame.
Still a lot of time, a lot of football left to be played. This is a huge 3rd down. If you're Albany State can get off the field here and try to run some clock and maybe even turn this into a 2-score game, that would be huge. But the first thing you got to do is stop this Valdosta State team who's had some explosive plays against you.
Blaze was injured guy. He's off the field under his own power, so good to see that. So it'll be 3rd and 13 here. So we'll see what they draw up. Graham Craig, the head coach, offensive coordinator. And his quarterback, Jameson Holcomb.
Valdosta State 3 out of 8 on 3rd down today.
3rd and 13, back to pass, throw again over the middle, looking for a receiver. And it's going to be incomplete there. He was trying to get it to number 1 again. He's been busy all day, Counselor Allen, but Albany State with blanket coverage all on top of him. It'll be 4th down.
Allen trying to get it to him, boy, and that would have been a huge play. He's caught 5 passes today for 90 yards, including a touchdown. But right there, the Rams are able to come up with the deflection. And, boy, this is huge right here. The Rams getting the ball back with about 7.5 minutes to go.
And Albany State was trying to get a guy off the field there, and they got flags down. So looks like Coach Gray was trying to call for a timeout as Albany State was trying to get a play off the field, and he is having a discussion with the line judge over here.
Albany State's going to have 12 men on the field. It was 4th and 13, so that's not going to give Valdosta State a first down. The decision is whether you want to re-kick.
Legal substitution on the defense.
He was also that, you just take that play and have Albany State down at the 26-yard line.
And he was trying to get a timeout. He was running down the field.
Yeah, so they're going to decline the penalty and take the spot down at the 26-yard line. So Albany State will take over the Ram 26 with 7:26 to go in the ball game, leading it 35-30 over Valdosta State here in the playoffs. Again, this is the 4th time these teams have met in postseason.
Now, if you're the Rams, this is where you want to just really let your offensive line and your running game take over. And so today, the Rams have rushed the ball 39 times for 250 yards. Doesn't really seem like that, but they've had a couple of big runs. And Isaiah Knowles is the leading run. Well, Isaiah Knowles had the last big run at 25 yards, but Weiss has 126 yards rushing. So if you can get that big offensive line going and lean and get a couple of first downs and
making them use their timeout.
And at least get a field goal out of this and prefer the touchdown. If y'all been in state, you're going to be very happy.
Valdosta State wants to try and get that ball back in the hands of their offense. We'll see what they dig in and come. There's a little wildcat action there. A direct snap to White's the running back, and they split Knowles out wide right, and that's going to result in about maybe 2 yards on the play. So not a whole lot there as the Rams go a little trickery there.
And the best thing about that play is it got the clock going for the Rams because they had not much success. They were trying to catch Valdosta State off guard, but they seem to have figured out that there's not going to be a pass out of that little wildcat, and they played it very well.
So the clock moving here, 6:55 to go here. Albany State 2nd and 8 at the Ram 28-yard line. Stewart will split wide right, slot to the near side. Knowles in the gun here on 2nd down and long, and he will give it to his running back, and on the run, Albany State running it close to the first down. Going to be a couple of yards short there, but a little nifty run there up the middle there by, I believe, White in the game still at running back. He's had a busy day. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 coming up here for Albany State.
Now, here's what Albany State needs for their offensive line to try to push back Valdosta, and Valdosta's going to try to push back against them, Fred. So, it's a big play right here for
Albany
both teams.
State 7 out of 13 on 3rd down right here. Almost at 50%, which is right where they are on the year, but this none bigger than this one right here.
It'll be 3rd and 2. Albany State with the ball. Line of scrimmage is the 34-yard line. Play clock down to 3 seconds here. Knowles will get the snap off. Quick pass. It's caught Williams. It'll be a first down. They stand him up, hit him hard, but he holds on to it at the 39-yard line.
Valdosta State playing really soft coverage there, and like that was too easy. Albany State stood up, and we just hooked up after about a little 3-yard route. They're able to get the ball to him really quickly. That was a little pitch and catch.
5:30 to go here. The clock moving here. We are in the 4th quarter. Albany State leading it 35-30 over Valdosta State. Rams with it. The line of scrimmage, the Ram 39-yard line. Receivers left and right. Knowles going to try and milk the clock as much as he can. Play clock, about 10 seconds on it. He'll put Davis, the tight end, in motion. on first down, and they'll run McCreary, right side. McCreary on the run to the 40 out to about the 41-yard line.
They're going to give McCreary right at the 42-yard line. Good gain, about 3 yards. And if you're Albany State, that's what you want to do right now. You want to score. And of course, you want to keep moving the ball down the field, take as much time off the clock as possible. Albany State would like nothing better than to eat up this entire clock without scoring. I mean, if you can do that without even giving Valdosta State the ball back, that would be great. And right now, if they can continue to get 3, 4, 5 yards per play without making any mistakes and holding on to the ball, they have a good shot. But
play clock at
still
9.
a lot of time, a lot of plays.
2nd and 7 at the Ram 42-yard line. Knowles again in the gun. Quick pass, far side of the field. Incomplete to Stewart. It'll be 3rd down. The clock will stop with 4:19 to go.
And that's what you did need. You did Valdosta State a favor by having an incomplete pass right there, because like you said, it stops the clock and now puts you in 3rd and long. So you got to throw the ball again, most likely. Where if you would have kept running the ball, just get 3 or 4 yards, keep yourself in 3rd down and manageable, and keep the clock moving. So let's see what Albany State dials up here. This is an opportunity for Valdosta State to make a play and get off the field.
So it'll be 3rd and 8. Rams ball at the Albany State 42-yard line.
Play clock, 4 seconds.
They get the snap off on 3rd and long. Knowles. Jackson on the receiving end makes the catch, and quick little screen up the middle of the field, and Javion Jackson on the receiver screen able to get the Ram 1st down.
And that's going to hurt the Valdosta, because now they got to start using their timeouts. Valdosta really didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, and Albany State took advantage of that Valdosta State blitz again. They've been sending extra players right out the middle just about every time. A couple of linebackers, a defensive back, and that time Albany State set up a nice screen, able to get the 1st down. And boy, they're going to be able to take another couple of minutes off this clock as long as they can keep the ball on the ground and don't make any mistakes.
1st and 10 at the Valdosta State 41-yard line. Play clock down to 5 seconds. Game clock 3:30 to go in the ball game.
They're going to take a timeout.
Albany State going to take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with 3:26 to go in the ball game. Rams leading at 35-30. We'll be right back.
Second charge timeout at a half.
We come out here and do
3:26 to go in the game here. 1st round action of the Division II playoffs. Albany State leading Valdosta State 35-30 here at the ASU Coliseum. It'll be 1st and 10. Albany State in possession. The line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line of Valdosta State. The Rams took the 2nd timeout, so Albany State will have 1 timeout left. Valdosta State has all 3. So, as well as the 2-minute timeout. So we'll see how this plays out, sis. So 3:26 to go here. Been a good ball game here as the scoring kind of slowed down in the 2nd half, but Albany State right now leading it by 5 points, 35-30. And the winner will punch the ticket to the 2nd round to take on the winner of the Wingate-Benedict game, which is happening there in North Carolina. If Albany State is able to win the game, it'll be a home game here next week. If Valdosta State wins, they'd be on the road. So here we go. 1st and 10, Albany State. The Rams got 4 receivers over to the right side here on 1st down, and they're going to run Knowles, the quarterback, and he'll roll his way down to about the 35-yard line, maybe the 36, 5 yards on the play. And they swung the entire formation one way and then ran back the other way.
Backside.
Yeah, that's what Albany State needs to do, just keep it on the ground. maintain possession of this ball. You just don't want any mistakes. You're going to force Valdosta State to make a play and use their timeouts if they want to get this ball back.
2nd and 5, Albany State at the Blazer 36-yard line. Again, the Rams going to reset receivers, both tight ends this time to the near side. 2nd and 5 play, they give it to McCrary. On the run, Roderick McCrary fighting his way, and it'll be a first down. That'll move the chains down to the 28-yard line.
Now the Rams didn't have to snap this.
No, Albany State can take it down to the 2-minute timeout.
Yes,
now.
they can.
Unless Valdosta State, and I think they're going to take a timeout.
Okay.
Looks like Blazers going to use a timeout. They're going to take one. We're going to keep here this time, but 2:29 to go. So 1st and 10, Albany State at the 28-yard line of Valdosta State. And the Ram fans are enjoying it right now, but got 2:29 to go.
2:29 and the first down to Albany State.
First charge timeout of that second half.
Valdosta State with one timeout left, so
1 or 2.
They have 2 left. That was their first.
Two timeouts left in the 2-minute warning, so they could technically, if Albany State doesn't get another first down and just call 3 running plays, they can stop this and get the ball back with around 2 minutes or so left. But if Albany State can run about 4 plays here, that's going to take all the time, just about all the time off this clock. It just depends on how Albany State how successful they are right here before the 2-minute warning.
So 2:29 to go in the ball game. Your score: Albany State 35, Valdosta State 30. The Rams have the ball at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. The Blazers with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout left.
Both these teams can play really close games last week. We know that Albany State required a big defensive stand to remain undefeated in the SIAC and win the SIAC championship actually here last week. And Valdosta State had to come down and kick a last-minute field goal to advance to this playoff round. So
they went overtime last week.
Yeah. So both teams really used to playing big-time football in crunch time right now. So it's just going to come down to whoever can execute it better.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Albany State. Slot to the far side of the field here. Knowles working from the gun. Roderick McCurry, the running back, in the backfield with him. And they've reset the game clock to 2:33. And we get the snap, and McCrary on the run there for Albany State. And they're going to use another timeout, looks like. Blazers going to take a timeout, and may have been a loss of a yard at the 29-yard line. So 2:27 showing on the clock. We're going to take a timeout. They take one, we'll take one. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 29 seconds.
Thanks a lot, and we are ready here. Second timeout used by Valdosta State. They have only one left here. We have 2:29 to go in the ball game. It'll be 2nd down 11. Albany State with the ball at the 29-yard line of the Blazers. Williams in motion here, and they're going to pass it. Amari Stewart on the run after the catch, fighting his way down to maybe the 21-yard line, and the Blazers are going to use the last timeout. So they're going to be out of timeouts. 3rd timeout call there by Valdosta State, and it'll be a 3rd down coming up here for Albany State with 2:19 to go in the contest.
Timeout.
Yeah, go ahead, no.
Valdosta
The Blazers
State.
really tried to stack it up
Third and
over there.
final
We got
timeout
around and got them 8 yards. We need
Please
about 3
reset
now,
the game
right?
clock to
Big time
2:22.
play calling to decide to throw that ball on 2nd down, because If that's an incomplete pass, Valdosta State's going to save a timeout right there, and then going to get this ball back in much better shape. But the Rams able to complete a pass and get about 8 yards, 7-8 yards, and put it in second and third and 3, and that's more manageable.
Yes.
And now what you got to do if you're the Rams, you got to be really careful here because you're in field goal range. Maybe this would be from right here. This would be about a 40-yard field goal, and that'll give you an 8-point lead. So if you don't get anything else, do you want to try to go for it on 4th down, or do you try to kick the field goal and make it an 8-point lead and give Valdosta State the ball back?
I don't know. Would you kick it, Coach Massey?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. I don't know. We've had, Albany State's had it was a bad kick, but either would count as a block. We'll see how it plays out. It's 2:22 to go in the game now. Valdosta State has no timeouts. There's one more stoppage at the 2-minute timeout, and then it'll just a matter if depending on what happens there. So the Blazers with no timeouts, they want to stop Albany State here. The Rams will have a 3rd down, and it's about a long 3 to go. The line of scrimmage to 21. They can get a 1st down at the 18.
And this is when you go with your best plays and your best players right here.
Rams with a slot to the far side. Davis, the tight end, is going to go in motion and reset. Again, motion again here on 3rd down. Jackson. Rams, are they just trying to get them off sides? They're going to use that timeout? Rams going to use the last timeout. So they were trying to get Valdosta State to jump or either see how they were going to play defensively.
3rd and final timeout of the half.
So both teams out of timeouts.
That's it.
2:22 to go.
That's it. Okay.
So Albany State, and we're going to keep it here as the Rams and Blazers fighting it out here in this first round action. I don't know if there's been a game tighter throughout the nation, but this has been one there that you can't get away from if you're listening or if you're watching the game today. A tight ball game, and the fans in attendance, a lot of action. Not one where you can just walk out and go. You got to watch them to the end.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Virginia Union in a battle with California to 24-27. Virginia Union down at home, and Newberry's now opened up a 14-point lead on Kentucky State. Wingate up big on Benedict 24-0. West Florida is now leading 22-13 against North Greenville. That's it for the Super Bowl in
this region.
All right, so both teams out of timeouts. Albany State took one. It'll be 3rd down and 3, still at the 21 of Valdosta State. Knowles and White in the backfield. Rams swing trips out to the far right.
This is big for the Rams.
See what they draw up here on 3rd down and 3 here. 2:22 to go in the ball game. McCray, the tight end, goes in motion here. They will hand off to White. White's fighting his way. And it's going to be close, and he's got the 1st down. 1st down, Albany State. And that's going to take it down to the 2-minute timeout. 1st down at the 17-yard line.
With no timeouts left, and it's going to be 2 minutes. Albany State can just about run this clock out on Valdosta State.
Yeah, 2-minute timeout. We're going to take a timeout here. 2 minutes to go. Albany State 35, Valdosta State 30. We'll be right back in just a moment. Thanks a lot. And the NCAA Division II playoffs, the Rams leading at 35-30. first down at the 17-yard line, and with 2 minutes to go, Albany State in a position to be able to almost just run the clock out. So, and look like they have the safety guys in there. Looks like Knowles is going to be set up to take the snap and take a knee. Here's the snap to him. He's going to step back, just waiting, and now he take a knee.
Ooh,
Took a big hit. Now, yeah, that was.
Don't do it.
Yeah, that was just not clean there.
Yeah.
Knowles, everybody knows in the stadium knows he's going to take a knee, and then he took a big shot from a Blazer, and I'm glad no flags came out either way.
Yeah. That's just not the way to end up the game. I mean, we've had good sportsmanship. Yeah, though, just about the entire game. Hadn't seen a whole lot of dirty plays. We thought we saw a couple of roughing the passer plays early on slides and things like that. But other than that, a pretty clean football game.
So this time, Knowles going to line up under center here. It's going to take another knee. Albany State in position, just run this clock out. 1:11 to go in the contest. Play clock down to 3 seconds. And they get the snap off. He'll take a quick knee. And one more snap will do it. 58 seconds, and the fans are letting them have it here at the stadium, the Albany State University Coliseum. This will be the 4th win in playoff history for Albany State University. Albany State on the way to defeating the Valdosta State Blazers by a score of 35-30. One more snap.
And boy, you got to give a shout out to that Albany State defense who held Valdosta State scoreless in the second half.
That's going to do it. That's the final snap of the ball game, and your final score is going to be Albany State 35, Valdosta State 30. Congratulations to Coach Quinn Gray and the Albany State University Golden Rams. They will advance to the second round and host the winner of the Wingate-Benedict game next Saturday, November the 29th. So final seconds running off the clock, and they give them a big douse of Gatorade there. And Valdosta State, their playoff run is going to come to a stop. They fought to get into the Division II playoffs. They made it to the first round. They end the season with a 6-5 record. And Albany State 11-1 on the season. So again, your final score 35-30. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our broadcast. Coach Massey, Norman.
Hey, look at him. The
Quickly.
Rams, very quickly. Good job by the coaching staff. You got a little bit to celebrate. You got to get ready for the next game.
Yeah, we saw 2 halves of football right here.
Yes, sir.
We saw an explosive, very competitive, just back and forth first half. Then we saw a game just kind of came down to making some plays and a lot of defensive stands by both teams. But in the end, Albany State able to come up with a couple of plays thanks to the Valdosta State miscues. And boy, play next week.
All right. Your final score again, 35-30. Albany State defeats Valdosta State in the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. Again, I want to thank you for tuning into our broadcast and everybody watching on ESPN+. We're going to take a time out for our radio audience. We'll be right back with a post-game wrap-up, but that's going to do it here at the Albany State University Coliseum. The Rams win it. We'll be right back in just a moment.